400 feet off the ground. RPG came through the belly of the aircraft. When I first got out, I felt like my whole life had been smushed down to just medical appointments. I was going to occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy. We don't talk about the female combat wounded. These are our daughters and our sisters and our mothers. I'm not sure I would still be here if I didn't find the Friends and Wounded Warrior Project that I did. Because there was a long period after the injury where I really didn't understand why I was still here. I felt like I had lost everything. Wounded Warrior Project came into my life and taught me how to stand back up and get back in the fight. The truth is, I think we all have this strength inside of us, but until you're tested, you just don't know it's there.
See how Wounded Warrior Project empowers women veterans like Beth by visiting woundedwarriorproject.org/empowerwomenvets.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
And Barnes hits one hard. Hits it deep. It is out of here. Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker.
It's time to get up and get your day started. It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable!
Here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
You know, sometimes life throws you a curveball, and other times life is A-OK. And today, it is absolutely perfect as we broadcast live from Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis, Arkansas. It is beautiful outside, currently 64 degrees. We're not talking about oppressively hot this weekend for the start, really, of college football. I know it began last week, but for everybody else around the country, it has already begun with games last night. But it is also Friday. The weekend is just about here, and we welcome you into Sports 56 Mornings on this Friday, September 1st, 2023. Happy 901 day to everybody out there. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy on location. Zach Boyd producing the program back in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road. That's just north of I-40, where family and fun get together. As I mentioned, the weather is splendid. Right now, 64, partly cloudy. We're looking at a high today of 87, sunshine, a low tonight of 72, and then sunny and a high of 89 tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow the Tigers kicking off the college football season, 6 o'clock at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium against Bethune-Cookman. Coming up on the program today, we'll talk prep football with John Varlas. He'll join us at 7:25. At 8:25, we talk Tigers football with Brian Moss, the publisher of TigersSportsReport.com. And then at 9:05, another season of the always colorful insider, handicapper, Brandon Lang, BrandonLang.com and the Believe Me Podcast Network. Or his show's called Believe Me with Clay Harbor and Cam Rogers, and you know he'll have some stories from the summer. Brandon Lang at 9:05. We'll play 10 in a row at about 9:30, give you a chance to win a great prize package. And then we're out at 10 to play a little golf, but guess who's here? Wolo and friends at 10 o'clock. Then happy hour with John Harden at 11. So we're broadcasting from now all the way through 1 o'clock at Meadowbrook Country Club. Eli, I'm going to give everybody the particulars in a second, but it is fun to be out here on a golf course on a Friday.
Yeah, there's worse places to spend a Friday than a golf course, and certainly when you talk about the weather that we have today, there's definitely worse places to be spending a Friday than on a golf course. This is ordered up beautifully, and looking forward to. I've only played this course one time, and it was years ago. I really don't remember anything about it, quite honestly. So looking forward to getting out there, checking it out today, and going to be a fun day out here at Meadowbrook and over in West Memphis.
Of course, it is a holiday weekend as we got Labor Day coming up on Monday. So a great opportunity to come out and play. Yes, an opportunity for everybody to come out and play because Meadowbrook Country Club is now semi-private, meaning you can come out here and play, and the rates are incredibly low. The rates today, though, are extremely low because the pro out here, Mark Bartlett, has put a special together just for you listeners out there, our Sports 56 listeners. You want to come out and play today, and you can get tee times. $39 and tax, plus you get the cart. For a
includes the cart.
Includes the cart. $39 and tax. You're playing a country club course.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. A Friday rate of $39 does not happen very often anywhere. But yeah, you could come on out. You could play for $39. That's today only. Come out and mention you heard it on Sports 56. $39 to play here at Meadowbrook Country Club. Check out the place, everything else. And then normally it's only $59. So it's not like it's super expensive to begin with, but we're giving you even a better deal today. Also, if you come out today before 1 o'clock, not only can you get the great deal and play golf, but if you stop on in here to the pro shop, you can register to win. We're going to give away a free foursome of golf here at Meadowbrook Country Club that we'll be drawing at the end of Johnny Radio Happy Hour. Plus, we're going to give away, might as well keep it, it's golf. We got foursomes for a foursome of golf. We've got a 4-pack of tickets for the Memphis Navy football game coming up in a couple of weeks. So you got 4 tickets for Memphis Navy. You got a foursome of golf here at Meadowbrook that we'll be drawing for just before 1 o'clock today. All you got to do is come on out, drop your name in the box, and again, bring the clubs, play, have some fun out here at Meadowbrook Country Club.
Again, here's the number to call the pro shop. Call and talk to Mark, 870-394-4186. That's 870-394-4186. We'll give you that number periodically unless you're driving around right now. Certainly don't go for a pen and piece of paper as you're driving. But if you got a good memory, 870-394-4186. Jump on the phones, call today, set up a tee time, come on out here and play. This place has been around since 1959. Okay, it's got a slope of 137. It's a very tough course. It's a hidden gem. You always look for the hidden gem golf courses in your area. This one certainly is. You got Champion Bermuda greens. You got 4 different tee boxes. And they got a lot of cool things here because it's also, as I mentioned, a country club. So you can come out now as a semi-private club, and you can pay $59 normally, $39 today, $59 in tax, which is a great deal, cart included, and play Tuesday through Sunday. So that includes weekend rates, same rate as during the week. But if you want to join, it's $350 per month. That includes golf, swimming. They got a beautiful swimming pool here, tennis courts, pickleball, which is the hot sport around the world, at least in the United States. I'm not sure about around the world. And they got a great restaurant and bar as well. So everything you need, all the amenities you need to be a member of a country club for $350 a month. Or, again, you can come out here and just play it as a daily rate course whenever you want to now because it's become available to you. Again, this course has been around since 59, so let's do the math real quick, 64 years. And also, here's another thing. Mark Bartlett, who a lot of people know, was PGA Touring Pro, professional golfer, guy knows the game inside and out. He's also an elite fitter of Srixon clubs. There's only 3 in the whole Memphis area. So you want to come out here and have him have custom-made clubs for you, fit your clubs for you, go out there on the range, and he'll know exactly what you need for your game to get better. He can do all the specs and everything you need. Mark can take care of you. Again, only 3 in the Memphis area. Same number if you want to call and ask Mark about that, 870-394-4186.
We already, well, they get working. I could say our East Coast a little easier, but we already have breaking news this morning as, according to Nicole Auerbach, no surprise, the vote was held and it's passed. And the ACC will add Stanford, Cal, and SMU.
So who caved in? Because yesterday we heard the news that North Carolina was going to vote no. We figure Clemson and Florida State, that they probably voted no. Is it possible that NC State went separate than North Carolina? The two are kind of linked together and always will be? It'll be interesting to see if we find that out. Or did everybody give in? Like you said, when the vote took place, you thought it would end up being unanimous if they passed. Wonder what the vote ended up being. But Cal, Stanford, long trips. Get ready, guys and gals. And then, of course, SMU buying their way in. If the reports are true that we've heard for the last couple of weeks, SMU willing to give up any media rights money for 7 years to play in a power conference. That means Mike Oresco and the American will be looking more than likely to add, they don't have to, but will more than likely add another school. The ever-changing landscape of collegiate sports.
Yes, indeed. It's, again, I know those schools all, like, especially Florida State, North Carolina, wanted this. The board of trustees was all against it. I think a lot of it was posturing, and in the end, trying to get more money, figuring out the way that money would be distributed and help those schools a little bit more probably. But in the end, they weren't going this far without getting this done. And again, it's extra money. Regardless of how it's distributed, in the end, it is extra money for those schools. So I don't know why you would possibly say no because if you're talking about the travel, you're talking about 2 teams. You're probably going to play one of them a year on the road.
It's negligible, I think, as far as the travel. Right.
If you're talking about adding $60-70 million pot to be split up, and you're only talking about one school that has to be, or one trip basically that far west, I'm sorry, you're profiting out of that.
It's a no-brainer, even with Florida State complaining that they want a bigger slice of the pie and we do more for this conference. Clemson obviously has done a ton for this conference, but it is what it is. You're being gifted more money. You take it. You take more money. It will not be an even Steven deal with your travel expenditures and what you bring in. You will be making more money in the end. So we both figured this would pass. Yes, it seems like it was a little bit of posturing, but there you go. Breaking news right off the bat to start this Friday morning. Not a Friday news dump this early.
The people at Cal and Stanford, I'm sure, aren't even awake yet. They're going to wake up like, oh, wait, we're what? We're in a new conference?
That's true.
It's 5 a.m. out there. They're being added to a new conference.
That's true. And George Klavikoff just sunk a little bit lower, didn't he?
They're like, hey, get the Stanford and Cal presidents on the line. Hello? What's going on? What? Well, you did what? You voted what? I'm trying to sleep here. Can we do this later in the day?
We are now a member.
We got all day. There's no reason for us to need to announce this now. You guys could have waited till we woke up.
We are now a member of the Atlantic Coast Conference. Palo Alto, California, and Berkeley, California, now members.
Long been known to be on the right there.
The Atlantic
Coast Conference.
Short
drive to the Atlantic Ocean from there.
And, of course, SMU in Texas, in the Lone Star State. Texas has always been a part of the Eastern Seaboard.
Maybe they should they need to just, I guess, call themselves the Coastal. Maybe they should drop the A, just call themselves the Coastal Conference. And Coastal Conference plus SMU.
Yes. It's incredible what has happened. Geography has been out the door for a long time now in collegiate sports, and this one really it really hits home even more because, again, you're going complete coastal from the West Coast to a member now of a conference that is made up of East Coast schools. I guess you could call Louisville Midwest a little bit of – it's branched out a little bit over the years, but certainly a conference formed for schools along the Eastern Seaboard, and now Stanford, Cal, and SMU. And now the question is Oregon State, Washington State. The Pac-12 is done. They were done if Oregon and Stanford didn't get the votes and still were stuck in the Pac-4. It wasn't going to survive. But what happens to Oregon State, Washington State? What will come of them? It will not be a power conference. The Big 12 is not opening its door. What will happen with the American Conference, the Mountain West? Those two remaining teams, will there be a combination of some sorts? We talked about how much it would cost a Mountain West school to leave, so there's no way they're leaving to go to the Pac-2. It would have to be those schools leaving to go to the Mountain West or the American. And again, the American right now has a larger media rights deal than the Mountain West has.
So now the ball's in the court of the American. You've got to see what they do as the dominoes continue to fall. I see that at this point. Again, I guess there's still there's this season going on in which the Pac-12 still exists.
Still exists.
It was funny watching the Utah-Florida game last night and all the Pac-12 commercials that are running, and it's like, blow that inventory out, folks, because you're done after this one. But
it could be a good season, right? Good start last night with Utah, USC winning last weekend.
But with the meeting, the next meeting that they have with the commissioners, like, let's be honest, Kliavkoff shouldn't even be invited. They're talking about the future of the sport and the playoff. His conference will not be a part of that in any way, shape, or form. So I don't even know why you would invite him to that if it's about the future.
Could he be the bartender?
I don't know. I have no idea what his bartending
Sacky's
skills.
like, hey, kid, go get me a gin and tonic.
I have no idea what his bartending skills are. If he's a good bartender, yes, but you got to make sure you have a good bartender at those meetings.
Yeah. Do you feel a little bit for Kliavkoff?
No,
but you don't blame Kliavkoff. It's not all Kliavkoff's fault.
No, it's not all
right?
Kliavkoff's fault, but he's part of it.
He's part of it. Yes.
Larry Scott's the one.
Larry Scott was the one who put him in this predicament.
Larry Scott had a chance to add Texas and Oklahoma and chose not to do so. Think about that. Like, think how the whole thing changes if at that point they would have decided, hey, we're going to take all those Big 12 teams. They could have put the Big 12 out of business at that point. They chose not to.
About that.
Instead, the Big 12 puts them out of business.
That's a great point.
If they would have taken Texas and Oklahoma at that time, because you remember at that time we were talking about there was like Kansas, Iowa State, maybe Kansas. There were like 4 Big 12 schools that we were like, as it was like unfolding, all the reporting was like, these places, they'd have no home. And it was always like, Kansas, with that basketball program, could just be left out in the cold. They have nowhere to go and then suddenly the Pac-12 decided they weren't going to do it. And boy, oh boy, what a great decision that was for the future of that conference.
Yeah, that's why you cannot hesitate. And even though I'm not comparing Stanford, Cal, and SMU by any stretch of the imagination to Texas and Oklahoma, the ACC knew exactly what they needed to do. Plus, it was more money for the schools anyway, but they knew they wanted to add because eventually, I don't think there's any question that Florida State, Clemson, who knows, maybe Carolina, maybe Miami, they're going to depart as well. So you have to be proactive. Larry Scott was he wasn't even reactive. He was nothing. He made a blunder that has cost a conference that has been around for 100-something years? How long's Pac-12 been around? It's gone. It's imploded in front of our very eyes, never to come back. Now, we counted out the Big 12 when things started to unravel with the Big 12, when they lost Texas and Oklahoma. We were premature on that because they bounced back really, really nice. Yormark did a great job. But for the Pac-12, they are dead in the water. So there you go. Breaking news right off the bat.
Keith texts in the coast-to-coast conference. Yeah, they could go coast-to-coast.
I like that.
They could like to have a little C with the number 2C as their little logo, C2C. I like that.
Not a bad.
I like that.
Yeah, not a bad recommendation. So we have that broke in the last few minutes. But for those who did not wake up at 3:40 in the morning or thereabouts to watch the United States in the FIBA World Cup, the final score is in. The USA beat Montenegro 85-73, a lot closer than people would have thought. In fact, they were down by a point at the half, I think it was. The United States was down at the half. Jaren Jackson Jr. got in foul trouble early. Remember, in international play, it's 5 fouls, not 6 like the NBA. He had 2 early fouls, found himself on the bench for the most part. Now, came back in the second half, had some big buckets down the stretch, but Jaren Jackson Jr. had no rebounds, no blocks. I mean, he's on that team for that reason. He ends up scoring 11 points. Anthony Edwards leads the way. Again, this is as we talked about yesterday, it's a little confusing. This is the second group stage, so it wasn't an elimination game. But the United States fights tooth and nail to get by the power known as Montenegro.
Yeah, they were out-rebounded 46-31 in the game. Nikola Vucevic had a big game for Montenegro. He was tough and difficult for the U.S. and Jaren. Yeah, Jaren did, I think, 4 or 5 from the field. But, yeah, I mean, it's to see no rebounds, no blocks, that's weird to see.
Yes, it is.
For Jaren, no doubt about that. But and for them to be trailing at the half against a team like Montenegro, that was a little alarming. But they get it done. They move on, and they will. So they got, I guess, Lithuania next. I'm not sure when that game is. I guess that's TBC to be something. I guess it would probably be Sunday. I assume that they've been playing every other day. So
it's probably Sunday, where they will try to TCB. They will try to take care of business. Probably be a tougher game, even though that game was quite tough.
Yeah, and neither team. The U.S. was 5 of 19 from 3. Montenegro 5 of 20. The big thing was the difference for the U.S. was was at the free throw line. Although they didn't shoot it well, they were 20 of 30, but they made 12 more free throws than Montenegro, and they've been getting to the free throw line a ton. That's with their athleticism. That's no surprise. They get to the free throw line a lot. They had been shooting them really well. They did not shoot them well in this game, but that was a big difference in this one as they get the win over Montenegro.
Yeah, but the board differential is alarming for moving on in this tournament. If you get out-rebounded like that, you could be in trouble down the line here in the FIBA World Cup. Grizzlies making some news yesterday. No surprise that G.G. Jackson II, the 45th pick overall, second rounder for the Grizzlies, signed a two-way contract. So you'll be calling a lot of his action down in South Haven with the Memphis Hustle. And then the Grizzlies signed Shaq Harrison, the former Tulsa Golden Hurricane, who I'm sure Memphis Tigers fans remember him going up against the Tigers when he played for Tulsa. He's 29 years of age. He's kind of bounced around G League, NBA, some international stuff as well. Had a 10-day with the Grizzlies back in the 21-22 season. But I guess the thought is this isn't just a camp invite. This is probably the guy that the Grizzlies will use for 20 games during that Ja Morant 25-game suspension as a backup, as a reserve behind Smart, Derrick Rose for insurance. That's my guess.
Yeah, I would assume they're going to sign him to an Exhibit 10 deal, and then once the first 5 games are done, then they have that opportunity to promote him and use him as that extra roster spot until the suspension ends, and then they could send him back to the Hustle on that Exhibit 10 deals. That would be my guess as to what this is. They obviously like him. The fact they signed him to the 10-day deal last year, I would think that would be the route they are going, or at least the kind of the plan right now. Mm-hmm. And if something comes up or something else happens, they could still at least have him on the Exhibit 10 deal playing for the Hustle. By the way, 7:40 Sunday morning is the game against Lithuania for Team USA. 7:40. So you can get up early. You don't have to get up at the 3:40.
A little more reasonable, isn't it?
A little more reasonable. Set the alarm Sunday morning, and you can get up and watch the USA take on Lithuania, 7:40 Central Time Sunday morning.
A little bit later on in the show, we'll talk some NFL, including a area product who lost his job, has now found a new job. We got baseball news to get into as well. And 10 in a row, of course, that'll come your way at about 9:30. We got some great guests lined up, including Brandon Lang's debut for this season, Brian Moss. And when we come back, it's all about prep football and John Varlas' big night around the area in high school football. But again, we're broadcasting live from Meadowbrook Country Club. It's at 1250 West Broadway. It's about a 10, 12-minute drive from downtown, Harbortown, Midtown. It's real easy to get here. Obviously, everybody in the West Memphis, Marion, Wynn area, they probably know about Meadowbrook. It is and has been a private club, but now semi-private. You can play anytime now. They're open Tuesday through Sunday. It's $59 in tax, card included. But today, a Sports 56 special, if you want to come out and play today, and tee times are available, $39 in tax, cart included. Just give them a call. The number is 870-394-4186, 870-394-4186. We'll be broadcasting throughout the morning and into the afternoon, all the way through John Harden's show at 1 o'clock. So if you're in the area, stop by, register to win any of our great prizes. And again, we're giving away golf as well for here at Meadowbrook. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. You got a problem with your roof, you call Brandon McCullough, 901-438-5084. Locally owned and operated. You can go online as well to newroofmemphis.com. They offer financing, many different plans and options to choose from, including a 6, 12, or 18-month same-as cash option. They'll work with your insurance company or out of pocket, whatever it takes. They do residential and commercial roofing, so business owners and property managers, along with homeowners. Again, you have a roofing problem, call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection, licensed, bonded, and insured, and a member of the Better Business Bureau. You get a 5-year labor warranty on the purchase of a new roof, and all their work, satisfaction guaranteed, including work around the home like carpentry work, exterior painting. You need shingles installed, Brandon's a certified shingle installer and can take care of you. They can replace gutters, put up fencing and siding, rotten wood repair. Whatever you can't do yourself, call the experts at Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. For all your roofing and home repair needs, call Brandon. Tell him you heard it here on Sports 56 Mornings, 901-438-5084, or online at newroofmemphis.com. John Varlas is next. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Country music singer-songwriter Kylie Morgan absolutely loves her Genesis diamond ring.
I got so many compliments as soon as I got the ring and continue to get compliments on it because it looks really pretty on my finger.
Kylie's husband Jay heard folks in the music industry raving about Genesis, but he also did a lot of homework on his own.
When it came to finding the ring, he took it very seriously. He did all the research. I think he knows more about diamonds than any man in the entire world, and that's how he landed on Genesis. He just knew that they were the best.
Jay picked out a stunning, flawless, pear-shaped diamond in an elegant setting. Got the value price Genesis is known for. And now they both tell everyone they meet about the amazing Genesis experience.
When you walk into Genesis, you can just feel the happiness. You know that they're helping find something that symbolizes the love that you have for your partner, and you can feel that as soon as you walk through the door.
Always been you, and I've always been your wife.
Genesis Diamonds at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
O'Reilly. Increase your vehicle's performance and gas mileage with Lucas Fuel Treatment at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Simply add it to your tank at your next fill-up to eliminate carbon and varnish deposits. Get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Treatment for $10, plus 2 times O Rewards points. See your O'Reilly Auto Parts store for details or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5-Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5-Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5-Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
When a cold comes on strong, knock it out with Vicks DayQuil Severe for max strength daytime relief. Just one dose of Vicks DayQuil Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Power through your day with Vicks DayQuil Severe, the daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, 9 to none medicine. Use as directed.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Right now, no accidents or delays to report. No accidents or delays. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings.
Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Happy 901 day to everybody out there. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy on location today. Zach Boyd producing our program from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. We're at Meadowbrook Country Club, a hidden jewel in West Memphis at 1250 West Broadway. Been around since 1959, has been a private country club, and now semi-private. So open to you to play anytime. They're Tuesday through Sunday, and it's the same rate Tuesday through Sunday, $59 plus tax. That includes cart. They also have a two-man Wednesday night scramble, $30 for members, $40 for non-members. But here's the deal. Today, if you set up a tee time to play today, $39 plus tax, cart included. So get yourself a foursome. Get on out here to Meadowbrook Country Club. All you have to do is call the pro shop, talk to Mark, set up a tee time at 870-394-4186. Pretty good deal.
Yeah, and tell them you heard it on Sports 56 to get that $39 deal. Plus, when you come on by, you can also register to win Golf for 4 here at Meadowbrook Country Club, as well as a 4-pack of tickets for the Memphis Navy game coming up in a couple of weeks. So you got a chance to either win Golf for 4 or tickets for 4 for the Memphis Navy game if you come on out and register here. We're in the pro shop, so when you come on in, check in for your golf. All you can do is drop your name in the box, and you are registered to win.
We obviously had the big breaking news from college football early to start the show. We have a bunch of games from last night that we're going to talk about in our second hour, but right now it's time to talk prep football with John Varlas.
It's time for Greg and Eli's weekly visit with John Varlas of the Daily Memphian. Check out John's prep sports coverage and more at dailymemphian.com. Now, here's John Varlas with Greg and Eli.
There must be some kind of way out of here.
John Varlas is the award-winning Daily Memphian prep reporter, but so much more. You can follow him on Twitter at John Varlas. He joins us every Friday to talk prep football. Hey, John.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Sorry I can't join you live and in color today, but I didn't get my passport renewed to cross over the bridge there, so I apologize for that.
Well, I saw when we crossed, your photo is up saying, "Do not allow this man into the state of Arkansas."
No.
You were prevented from coming over, John.
Yeah, for sure. I got to get a special dispensation for that for next time, so apologize for that.
Well, the schedule looks terrific tonight. We're a couple of weeks into the season. We're going to go over a bunch of those games. Of course, the action started last night. Boy, Mitchell, the Tigers off to a good start. They're 3-0, easy win last night. How good are they?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, they've won 3 games that they probably should have won, Greg. So from that perspective, it's kind of hard to tell. But they've got a player, an under the radar player, a kid named Kadarius Canada, who last year was actually the Daily Memphian Special Teams Player of the Year. Believe it or not, last year he returned 7 punts and kickoffs for touchdowns. And last night he caught 3 touchdown passes. So I don't know, specifically what his college future is. I think it's probably at a lower level school, but he's a terrific high school player. And their quarterback last night threw 5 touchdowns. So yeah, Mitchell's playing some good football. They first-year coach, Larry Fitzgerald, who was a longtime assistant under Nathan Cole, has taken over the reins this year, and they're 3-0, playing some good ball, and yeah, I'm excited to see how they do going forward.
Pretty good career that Larry Fitzgerald had too in the NFL. It's,
Great hands,
impressive. I
Great
didn't realize he was here coaching.
Yeah, so somebody else already used that one, Eli. So thank you.
Last week's action, anything that stood out to you? MUS, another shutout against a pretty good Melrose team. Their defense is obviously clicking.
Yeah, and I'm. It's going to be a real interesting challenge. You know, Coach Alston said after the game last night. You know, obviously no disrespect to Bartlett and Melrose, but you know things are about to pick up for the Owls, and they will starting this week. You know, going to Montgomery Bell Academy. I mean, yeah, Eli. I think defensively, this is a really, really good MUS football team. You know, Melrose has an array of talented athletes, skill players, and they just couldn't get anything going. I mean, now part of that was they had a massive problem, you know, just on the center quarterback exchange, and that kind of skewed the yardage numbers that, you know, defensively that MUS was able to put up. But, you know, having said all that, you know, Gavin Helton, you know, their nose tackle, Catcher Miller, was outstanding last week, and I think, honestly, he was putting a lot of pressure on the Melrose center. But, you know, this is a really, really strong defensive team. You know, the guys are coached well. They don't try to do too much, but they're very good at doing what they do. And, you know, Coach Alston said, you know, they haven't really, you know, done anything particularly fancy this year. They're just basically executing their assignments and you know, playing position, you know, fundamental positional football and staying at home and making plays, and that's key. And you know, tonight they're going to Montgomery Bell Academy, and you know, they've got a real chance to go 3-0. NBA's 0-2. They've kind of struggled because you know, they don't have Marcel Reed this year, who obviously was a really great quarterback for them and a 4-year starter. So you know, it's tough to replace that. So NBA is still trying to kind of trying to find its way. And I think MUS has a chance to really, really be special this year, especially on defense.
Boy, don't talk to me about bad snaps. I saw enough of those last week from Sheffield in the game against Christian Brothers to last me a lifetime. It's weird looking, and tonight's game against NBA is not a region game. While they are both Division II, 3A, they are on opposite sides, but they are playing cross region, you know, cross games that don't count as region games. But it's weird looking at the East region of Division II AAA. NBA's 0-2. Brentwood, who Christian Brothers will go to tonight, is 0-2, and Lipscomb's 0-2. Now, some of that is the competition they've played, but to see those three teams at 0-2 is a little weird.
Yeah, now I know Lipscomb has played just a tremendous schedule so far, and actually, you know, if you put any stock in the ratings on Max Preps, they're actually still the number one team in Tennessee, despite their 0-2 record. I don't know how much I necessarily believe that, but you know, I think at some point you got to start winning. But yeah, no, it's I mean, those teams have played really, really tough competition, like you say. You know, I think MUS though, you know, playing Bartlett, playing Melrose, those are two very representative teams, and I think that's going to have them well served and well prepared for this week. And it's interesting too, Eli. You know, the last year MUS started the season with two consecutive shutouts was about 5 or 6 years ago. They shut out Ridgeway, they shut out Kingsbury to open the season. Then they went to Montgomery Bell Academy in week 3 and actually won that game as well. So, you know, just kind of a fun thing there. It obviously doesn't mean anything in terms of tonight, but it's just kind of something to keep an eye on if history can repeat itself there.
So it's a battle between Memphis and Nashville, 3 different games in the private region. Was that just a scheduling quirk that they're all playing this week?
I think so, Greg.
They're doing this on purpose.
That's what. Okay, so
there are outside of your region. Every one of the teams is playing 2 games against somebody on the other, and they're must schedule games, because it's hard for them to get enough games for their schedule. So with the new alignment, they're doing 2 cross region games. They again don't count as region games,
right?
But everybody's scheduling them. So this is one of the weeks where they're playing the cross region games.
Hey, but it could still be bragging right. It's still a bragging's right night for Memphis if they can win 2 out of 3 or even sweep those teams from Nashville. I know it'll be a tall task. Of course, John will have you covered. John, one of the stars so far in high school football, and I don't cover it and do the things that you do with it, but I'm following along and I'm keeping up with you, and that's that Kelvin Perkins with Southwind. And Southwind's got East tonight. They're off to a good start, and this kid is putting up some huge numbers.
Yeah, well, Southwind's actually playing down in Center Hill tonight, down in DeSoto County. But yeah, Kelvin Perkins is terrific. I mean, he is, he's only a sophomore. We had a feature story about him. If you go to the Daily Memphian, he is the featured prep story right now. I mean, just a really, really, really good story. Really interesting future this kid's got. I mean, he took over the starting job last year, midway through the season as a freshman. It was right before a key region game against Central, and Southwind actually won that game. They subsequently finished last year 7-3. They lost in the first round of the playoffs, but he has come back, bigger, better, just way more improved this year as a sophomore, and just flashing all kinds of tremendous potential. I mean, guys, I went out to talk to him this week, and I was really stunned, frankly, at how much he had grown and just gotten physically bigger from last year to this year. He's a legit 6 feet, 6'1" already, probably 190 pounds, really put together. And he's a dual threat passer, kind of like the molds you see nowadays. He can beat you running, he can beat you throwing. He's got 6 passing touchdowns and 3 running touchdowns already in 2 games, and he doesn't have any turnovers, and he hasn't completed either one of those games either because of the running clock situation. So he's putting up great numbers in less than a full game. Obviously you can't offer sophomores. You can't offer sophomores until the end of their sophomore season. So he doesn't have any offers yet. But I suspect when the recruiting opens up for Kelvin Perkins, you're going to see some major interest in this young man. Really, really loads of potential, and excited to see how he does and how Southwind does.
Fun fact, John sends me the schedule, and I need to read it correctly. So, yes, East, not at Southwind. It's Sheffield versus East. They'll play at Southwind's field. Southwind High School will play at Center Hill.
Reading is comprehension.
Reading is fundamental.
Reading comprehension is the most important part of anything. You got to make sure you comprehend what you read. Well, John, we started the season, and rightfully so, talking a lot about the Class 6A region and how tough it was or is. And tonight we get round 1, I guess, in that. And you've got Germantown, Houston, and Collierville, Bartlett. Is that correct?
Correct. I think, yeah, and it's really interesting too how the schedule makers kind of threw the 4 playoff teams from last year against each other in the opening of region play. I'm going to be at Houston tonight. Germantown is number 1 in our Dandy Dozen. They're number 5 in the state this week. They got a couple of first place votes. I won't tell you who one of the idiots was who voted for him, but I think everybody can maybe guess. I think Germantown is really, really good, and but it's going to be a tough test tonight at Houston. Houston played at South Panola last week. They lost by 2 points. They, I don't know that they necessarily played their best game, but I still think they flashed some potential, and I think with DJ Miller, they have a blossoming star at wide receiver. DJ caught 7 passes, and he had 3 touchdowns last week. His last touchdown pulled Houston to within 2 points with about 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, but, they couldn't get over the hump and win it. But, DJ is tremendous, and in a region with, so many good receivers, DJ Miller, Joakim Dotson at Collierville, who has Power 5 attention, Kadarius Jones at Whitehaven, who's off to a really, really good start. The kids at Bartlett, Jade Nealon, and Jeremiah Ree, who's still working his way back from injury. Jeremiah, maybe the best one of all. I mean, he's tremendous as well. So many good receivers in that region, and DJ Miller is certainly making a name for himself. And it's going to be interesting to see what kind of game plan Germantown comes up with tonight to scheme him. They've got a tremendous defensive coordinator. Coach Harmon was the D coordinator at Germantown the years they won a state championship, and it's going to be a battle of wits, offense versus defense, and I expect a tremendous crowd, and I think it's going to be a fun night. It's going to be beautiful weather, and get there early be ready to stay late, because I think it's going to come down to the to the final moments for sure.
We'll get, when we come back, we'll get your thoughts on the Collierville Bartlett. Also, Tennessee Tom texted in, and the other, also in that region, game tonight, he wants to know about Arlington and Whitehaven, so we'll get your thoughts on that as well when we come back, as we're talking with John Varlas, of course, from the Daily Memphian. We do it each and every Friday, talking high school football, especially this time of year. Memphis Barbecue Supply, the place to go, where the holiday weekend is here, just about upon us. And, of course, football season is upon us. And if you're out tailgating, you're just at home watching the games and you want to fire up that grill, you want to make sure you have all the supplies that you need. When it comes to fuel and wood and rubs and sauces, you're not going to find more than Memphis Barbecue Supply. And right now, this weekend, started yesterday, actually, going through Sunday, they've got a sale going on for the holiday weekend. Their pellets, for all you have the pellet grills, you can buy 2 bags, get 1 free. That's 20-pound bags of the pellets. Buy 2, get 1 free, and they've got 14 varieties in stock. They've got special on charcoals as well. They've got 6 different briquettes. They've got 4 different lump charcoals in stock. Plenty of wood as well. Chips, chunks, mini logs, whatever it is you're looking for, they've got all of those. They've got all the different equipment that you need. They've got over 300 rubs and sauces. It's all at Memphis Barbecue Supply. And this weekend through Sunday, you can get special. They will not be open on Monday. So if you want to get some stuff and you're going to be grilling out Monday for the holiday, make sure you get by there before Sunday, or at least on Sunday, tomorrow or Sunday, to get your supplies at Memphis Barbecue Supply. 7041 Stage Road. Online, mbbqsupply.com. Follow them on social media as well for updates on things they get in, new stuff that comes in, and they may only have it for a limited time, so you want to make sure you know when that comes in. Again, Memphis Barbecue Supply, 7041 Stage Road.
We are broadcasting live from Meadowbrook Country Club, 1250 West Broadway in West Memphis, Arkansas, and today only, Sports 56 deal. You come on in or you call up and set up a tee time for today. $39 and tax, cart included, to play what is a private club now turned semi-private. So you have that opportunity any day. They're open Tuesday through Sunday to play on this country club course that has been around since 1959. It's Meadowbrook Country Club. You're listening to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli. More John Varlas when we return right here on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
They're taking care of business in Memphis, right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
With Labor Day and football season right around the corner, now's a perfect time to head on down to Memphis Barbecue Supply for all your cookout needs. Whether you need fuel, equipment, or seasoning, we have it all and more in store. We boast the largest selection of fuel and wood in the Mid-South. You'll be covered on all your kindling needs, from pellets to logs to chunk and chip, and of course, briquette and lump charcoals. We have many different varieties available to choose from. Speaking of variety, we encourage you to browse our selection of over 300 different rubs and sauces. Our knowledgeable staff is always available to assist with any questions you may have for your next cook. So stop on by and let's get you set up right for this barbecue season at Memphis Barbecue Supply. Memphis Barbecue Supply is located at 7041 Stage Road in Memphis, or you can order online at mbbq.com. Follow us on all the social media platforms for recipes, new products, and barbecue news.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
One of the most infamous and controversial bands in the world. Wasp, the 40th Never Stops World Tour with special guest, Armored Saint. Wasp live. This Thursday night, Graceland Live. Tickets are on sale now at waspnation.com. Wasp, feel the sting.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Morning!
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back here on a beautiful Friday, 9:01 day. We are over in West Memphis, Arkansas, Meadowbrook Country Club. It's a beautiful day to play golf, so come on out, play some golf. Just $39 today. If you mention you heard here on Sports 56, and that's today only, you can play for $39 here at Meadowbrook Country Club. We've got John Varlas joining us, talking some high school football, as we do each and every Friday with John, and we were talking about the 6A battles going on tonight. John, what about the matchup between Collierville and Bartlett?
Well, I think, Eli, I think that's going to be a defensive battle. Collierville last week, and I said this on Twitter, and I really believe it. I think their victory last week against Hendersonville Beach was the most impressive, showing so far by a local team. The score was 28-21, but the game wasn't really that close. They held Beach to only 5 first downs and only 157 yards. Beach returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and then they popped a big play, at some point in the game as well, and then they got a touchdown late. But beyond that, they weren't able to generate a whole lot against Collierville. And I think, coming into the season, if you're a Collierville fan, I think the concern maybe was on the defensive side of the ball, because they graduated some key guys and some veteran contributors. I don't think you worry too much about the offense with Aiden Glover and Dodson and those guys. But, defensively, I think there were some question marks, and they really played well last week on defense. And Bartlett played a tremendous defensive game last week against Lausanne, 24-14. They won that game again. Maybe not as close as the score indicated, because Lausanne scored, right at the final whistle. And, Bartlett held Lausanne to only 20 rushing yards. And I don't have all the records in front of me, but I think it's pretty rare that you would see a Lausanne team, with that few rushing yards, considering, some of the great running backs they've had and some of the high-powered offenses they've had. So, two outstanding defensive performances last week. I expect a close game. I expect a low-scoring game, kind of like it was last year when the final score was 17-7. And I think it's going to be a good one. It's interesting, Eli. After tonight, two really good teams are going to be 0-1 in the region, and that's as tough as this region is, that's not a place where you want to be. Obviously, there's still a ton of football left after tonight, but you don't want to start out 0-1, and two good teams will start out 0-1 tonight for sure.
And as I mentioned, Tennessee Tom texted in. He asked about the Arlington-Whitehaven matchup.
Well, Arlington's off to a 2-0 start, and they're kind of under the radar, quietly playing some good football. Now, obviously, Whitehaven is going to be their toughest game to this point, and Whitehaven really struggled last week. They went down to Tupelo and they lost 37-0. And I mentioned Kadarius Jones, who's a tremendous talent for Whitehaven. Obviously Whitehaven going to have always speed and size and athletes, but I really like the job Coach Tommy Miller is doing at Arlington so far. It looks like it's a gradual build, but it seems like they're getting that program up back to where they want it to be. And Arlington is a program with some great history in the past, some great teams in the past, and tremendous community support at Arlington. And once that thing gets rolling again, like I think it can, Arlington is has the potential to really be a force in 6A, because they have been before. So they can get there again. And like I said, Coach Miller's doing a good job. I think he was the right hire for that program. And, that's going to be an interesting test. I don't know, necessarily which team is the stronger going into this one. I think they're relatively even on paper. So I think it's going to be a good one. I'm really kind of curious to see how that one turns out.
Always a challenge when Covington and Dyersburg get together. It's a big battle for Covington, the Chargers, here early in the season. What do you know about that one?
Well, that's number 4 and 5 in Tennessee in Class 3A, Greg. Dyersburg is 4, Covington is 5. Covington had a tough time putting Brighton away last week. It was 35-27, and Brighton was with Covington all the way, but Skyland Smith had a tremendous game last week for Covington, 244 yards on the ground, 4 touchdowns. He looks like he's the real deal, and another great running back off that Covington assembly line. But having said that, going to Dyersburg is going to be a very, very difficult challenge. Dyersburg is strong. I think they're deserving of their number 4 ranking in the state, and that's going to be a tough one for Covington.
Anything else on tonight's schedule that stands out?
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me, Eli, so I apologize. I'm kind of keeping an eye on that Sheffield and East game in Region 8 3A. Both of those teams have started out 0-2, but that's a very important game in terms of the region standing. I'm kind of also interested in this the other 6A game with White Station at Cordova. Cordova's undefeated, and White Station, Eli, as you know, they very easily could be undefeated as well. And that those are two programs that struggled last year, but it looks like they're kind of on the come up too. And I'm kind of curious to see how that one turns out. That region is just going to be so much fun this year. With the 4 teams at the top who made the playoffs last year, Whitehaven, who they are, and then you've got Arlington, Cordova, and White Station that all seem like they're on the come up a little bit. So it's just going to be a lot of fun this year in that region.
All right, John, as always, we thank you for joining us. Have a great night. Remember to get your scores and stats over to John. Follow him on Twitter at John Varlas. He'll have you updated with everything that's going on in prep football, the award-winning Daily Memphian prep reporter, but so much more. John Varlas, who joins us each and every Friday. Thank you, JV.
Appreciate you guys a lot. Have a great time out there in West Memphis, and keep them on the fairway.
Thank you now.
Thanks, John.
Of course, here in West Memphis, it's all about the Blue Devils, the West Memphis Blue Devils. In Mississippi tonight, I think there's a couple of really good matchups. You have Lake Cormorant playing at DeSoto Central. You have South Haven going to visit Tupelo. Also, Horn Lake is hosting Lafayette. So I think it should be a great night of football, especially with this beautiful weather.
Yeah, you can't get much better weather than this. It's great for football. It's also great for golf. This is A-okay. To kick off a holiday weekend, weather like this, great time to play golf.
Not too shabby. When we come back, hour number 2, we're going to talk golf. We're here at Meadowbrook Country Club. We'll talk to the pro Mark Bartlett. Also, more on college football. The big news today, if you have not heard, the ACC has voted in Stanford, Cal, and Southern Methodist, SMU. All three are headed starting next year to the ACC. We got football from last night, including Utah, Florida, the Nebraska-Minnesota crazy finish. We'll get to that in hour 2. We'll talk Tigers football with Brian Moss. The Tigers getting set for their opener against Bethune-Cookman on Saturday at 6 o'clock. And then in our final hour, we'll be joined for the first time this season by Brandon Lang. We'll handicap some of the big college football games, and of course, throughout the NFL season, handicapping the NFL as well. Then we'll have picks. We'll have our 10 in a row segment. Then we'll wrap it up. And guess what? Dave Woloshin will be out here at Meadowbrook, and then John Harden will be out here at Meadowbrook. We're having a good old time in West Memphis. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Simple, smooth, and every sip is easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place, the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
When the weather gets better, I found a new place to really soak it in. It's the patio at the Commissary in Collierville. We all love the delicious Memphis-style barbecues. You can begin your barbecue fest with some great appetizers like the cheese plate or the tamales or the barbecue nachos. Oh, those smoked chicken wings, they're terrific too. Then dig into the ribs or the barbecue shoulder. Get it chopped or pulled on a sandwich. A big sandwich, or you can get it on a plate. You've got choice, and you've got choice in places. Don't forget the Germantown commissary as well. Comes with beans and slaw, deviled eggs they're famous for. And Brad, you can even order by the pound, a 6-pack or an 8-pack or even a 12-pack. The Boss Man salad, the chicken plate, the barbecue shrimp. There's something for everybody, and those great desserts, the best icebox lemon pie anywhere. Or my favorite, the banana pudding. Check out the patio, TVs for sports, and music on the weekends. You love the commissary.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
Right now, working an accident on I-240 East at Getwell. The left lane is blocked. That's I-240 East at Getwell Road. The left lane is blocked there. Keep it right here. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Happy 901 day, everybody. Hour number 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings on this Friday, September 1st, 2023. Absolutely gorgeous outside. Currently 66 degrees, partly cloudy skies. We're looking at a high today of 87, mostly sunny, then a low of 72 tonight. Sunny skies for your Saturday with a high of 89 degrees. We are broadcasting live from Meadowbrook Country Club at 1250 West Broadway in West Memphis. A hidden jewel here in the Mid-South. Was a private country club. Still is to some extent. But now it is opening up its doors to everyone. So it's semi-private, but started in 1959. And it's been out here, and it's been serving up golf customers for that long, and now you have a chance to play. And today, if you just mentioned Sports 56, call in, get your tee time set up for today, and there are times available, or just stop on by. It's $39, and that includes cart to play today with the Sports 56 special here at Meadowbrook. The phone number to call here in the Pro Shop, 870-394-4186. That's 870-394-4186. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd back in the Family Leisure Studios producing the program. Hour 2 of our program is brought to you each and every day by James Gaddis Jewelers. They are your family's jeweler. And every Monday and Friday, they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know University of Memphis basketball teammates Jordan Brown and Javon Quinterly were both in the same graduating class as Zion Williamson, Darius Garland, and others? Those two have already spent 4 years in the NBA. This was the 2018 class. Brown will turn 24 this season. Quinterly will turn 25. For all your bridal engagement and anniversary jeweler headquarters, it's James Gaddis Jewelers. Or for all your engagement anniversary jewelry needs, I should say. They are your jewelry headquarters for all those beautiful engagement rings, wedding rings, and those personally designed wedding sets. But it's more than just that. Watches and bracelets, necklaces and earrings and pendants, so much more, plus the estate and vintage jewelry. Layaway and financing available at James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar. Go visit them this weekend. Tell them you heard it here on Sports 56 Mornings. All right. Again, breaking news from this morning, Eli. Big news in the world of college football.
Yes, indeed. As expected, the ACC presidents, and I don't know what time they did the call, but it was early. They got up early. They wanted to get. They're like the Army. They got more accomplished by 7 a.m. than most people do all day. The ACC presidents did have their vote, and they have voted to add Stanford, Cal, and SMU to the conference. So the ACC continues to expand. The Pac-12 continues to lose teams. They're down to 2. And the American Athletic Conference loses another team in SMU. And we'll have to see what they want to do, what Mike Aresco decides to do to replace SMU, as they will be departing the American Athletic Conference. But, yes, it is official. They have made the vote. We don't know if it was unanimous or what happened, but nonetheless, they got enough votes to add the 3 schools to the ACC.
And this, of course, is for all sports. I said football, but it really impacts football and the landscaping that's changing daily in the football world as far as collegiate sports is concerned. But this affects all sports. So all those great athletics teams at Stanford. I mean, Stanford from golf, both men and women, to volleyball, on and on and on and on. They're usually number one in the Learfield Cup, so they are at it. Cal, their athletics right now, big question mark. And then, of course, everyone knows SMU has bought their way in. They will, according to reports, it hasn't been confirmed by anybody, but according to reports, they will not accept $1 from the media rights deal for 7 years. And I know right now, because I have a lot of texts from folks, that Memphis fans are not happy. But it doesn't mean that anybody could have presented that same deal to the ACC and they would have accepted it. SMU, for whatever the reason, is what they looked at. A Texas school made sense to them for whatever reason. And then, of course, got Cal and Stanford from the West Coast. So the Atlantic Coast Conference now with 2 schools from the West Coast. Just sounds weird.
The SMU thing, again, it's an interesting thing. I mean, it tells you how badly they want it in, that they're willing to do this. You know, for them, from their perspective, to do it for 7 years, you have no idea what that conference is going to be in 7 years, but they are willing to bet on it and themselves and figure that's going to be better for them, and so they are willing to do it. And it is a bold move by SMU.
Bold move, Cotton. All right, last night in college football, we had the big one, Utah and Florida. No Cam Rising for Utah. It did not matter, as the Utah Utes got a couple of really good performances from their quarterbacks. They played 2 quarterbacks, and they both were very good in what they did. Nate Johnson was the speedster. Man, oh man, could that guy run. But Graham Mertz, the transfer from Wisconsin for Florida at quarterback, threw a second-half touchdown, was very inconsistent, wearing the number 15, which I think for some Florida fans has to be sacrilegious. They did not retire that number where nobody could use that number ever again. That's Tebow's number. But Florida, I guess they are who we thought they were.
They are in some way, but I mean, they did some good things. I mean,
well, I hope so.
Graham Mertz threw for 333 yards. They just couldn't. The penalties killed them. They kept getting they would get to 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and they get a false start penalty. The crowd noise there certainly played a big part in it. You know, they did some things offensively. They were probably better than what I thought they would be, except for they couldn't run the ball at all against Utah's defense.
The 2 number 3s.
And then they only got 11 points out of it because they kept killing themselves with penalties on the drives. I mean, they completely outgained Utah in the second half of that game, but they just couldn't get any points to finish their drives.
Yeah, but it's all about finishing. Who cares about the stats? How about the huge penalty when they had the 2 guys with the same number out there?
Yeah, again, that's the thing.
That killed them.
Penalties were their if it wasn't for the penalties, they got a great chance to win the game. So I don't think Florida's very good at all. I actually came away pretty impressed with Graham Mertz. I thought he was better than I thought he would be. But they've certainly got some cleaning up to do with the penalties because the false starts. And then, I mean, the idea of to have 2 guys with the same number on the field is just that just should never happen.
Right.
That is coaching. Like somebody has to notice that. Like, hey, wait, we both wear the same number. We can't be out here. Or somebody's got to notice, hey, we got 2 guys with the same number on the field. That's unbelievable that would happen.
Yeah, look, let's not confuse Florida with not having some talent because they have a lot of talent. He has recruited well, Billy Napier, but so has everybody in that conference, for goodness sakes, maybe with the exception of Vanderbilt and their academic restrictions, right? You're only going to be able to get certain players, right, that fit that academic the academic requirements from Vanderbilt. But as far as Florida is concerned, again, it's not that they don't have guys that can catch the football. It's not that they don't have talent on the defensive side. They're just not, at this moment, a well-coached team. And I thought Billy Napier would come in guns a-blazing at Florida. It has not happened. This is Utah without Cam Rising. I know it's a road game, and I know Utah's really good non-conference, especially at home. But they didn't have Cam Rising. The 2 quarterbacks that played well. But they didn't have a star-stud, Heisman-type candidate quarterback playing, and still they won 24-11, holding Florida. That high-powered offense that we used to know and love is no longer, at least not right now, with 11 total points. Then there was the Minnesota-Nebraska game with Minnesota pulling it out at home 13-10. Nebraska in control late, absolutely blew that game. In Matt Rule's first game as the Nebraska coach, they had it. They let it slip through their fingertips.
Yeah, turnovers were a problem for Nebraska. Trying to run the clock out, fumble. They have three. I think he threw 3 interceptions. Nebraska's got a long way to go.
They do.
That program, and I don't know. It's a different world for Nebraska because recruiting is really, really hard there. There's just not the talent around them, and they're not able to recruit the way they used to when they were one of the elite programs that everybody knew and was one of the ones that was on TV and could go anywhere and get kids. I saw they were on, I think it was on ESPN. They were talking like of all of the states that border Nebraska and Nebraska itself, I think in this year's recruiting class, the 2024 class, there are, I think, 12 of the ESPN top 300, and there's not a single 5-star kid.
Not a surprise.
In that entire, I think it's 7 states, something like that. In that 7-state area, not one 5-star kid.
Well, most of those states are sparsely populated, but you would think that there'd be some studs that come out of it. It's just, look, it's tilted toward Texas and Florida and California and Georgia and Louisiana. We know the states. But nevertheless, Nebraska blew that game. Minnesota is lucky to come out of it with a W. NC State struggled with UConn but won 24-14. UCF, now a member of the Big 12, playing a non-conference game against Kent State, 56-6. John Rice Plumlee, the former Ole Miss Rebel, 370 total yards of offense. And then some games that involve teams from the American. Tulsa over Arkansas Pine Bluff. We're here in Arkansas today, 42-7. UAB in the debut for Trent Dilfer, friend of the show, beat North Carolina A&T 35-6. Missouri was an easy winner over South Dakota from the SEC, and then Wake Forest from the ACC beat Elon 37-17. Just some of the results from last night. A little appetizer, Eli, for what's to come. We got games tonight, a whole host of games tomorrow, Sunday, and then Monday.
Yeah, get it. It's not a great slate this week. It's not a very good slate at all. Obviously, the premier game comes Sunday night with Florida State at LSU. But it was fun last night to watch the Utah-Florida game. To win all of my bets on the Utah-Florida game was also fun. But yeah, it's good to have it underway, and all weekend long we're able to watch college football.
Just one game with ranked teams, right? Florida, LSU?
Yeah, that's
Florida State, excuse me.
That's the other one that is 2 ranked teams playing each other this weekend, yes.
Well, again, we are here at Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis, a hidden jewel. Certainly people around here know all about it, but we're trying to get that word out because right now, after starting 1959, we're going way back, 2 years before I was born, this came into existence. And it's been a private club all the way through. It's been a country club that folks have to be members to come out and play. That has changed. We're joined by Mark Bartlett. He's the PGA pro out here. Mark, first of all, thanks for having us out here. And this is terrific. Folks now who don't know anything about Meadowbrook now have a chance to not only learn about it but play the course.
Yeah, we're very excited for today. This has been about a year and a half in the making that our ownership group finally decided that we were going to open this place up and let people come out and understand that, if you're in Midtown, downtown, Mud Island, Harbortown, we're 12 to 15 minutes away, right across the bridge, great little golf course, and we're looking for great things to come in the next year or so.
That's, there's obviously a bunch of great golf courses in this area all over the place, every direction. But as you said, from downtown, there's not many that are real close. Like this is as easy as it gets if you're in the downtown area to come over here and be here in a matter of minutes.
And here's the good thing about our course. If we're packed on Saturday or Sunday, a foursome's going to play in 3 hours and 30, 3 hours and 40 minutes. It's not a 4.5-hour round. Our course plays extremely fast because we're old school. Get off of one green, the tee is right next to it on the next one, and we just blitz around this place. So you don't have to spend 4 or 5 hours. You can come over, get 18 holes in less than 4, grab you some lunch, and go see Miss Margaret in the bar, and have a great day.
Tell everybody about the course itself.
The golf course is very unique. It's only 6,600 yards long, but it has a slope rating of 137. It's very challenging. We have 4 par 4s from the tips that are over 460 yards. We have some short holes. We have some long holes. It's a really, really neat and unique setup.
The and as far as the greens are concerned, how challenging are the greens out here?
They are challenging. If you get a downhill, down green putt, you better breathe on it because it's going to roll. But the greens are very small. If you miss the green on long or on the sides, the best place to be is short. You got to have a little bit of course knowledge. Play it a few times, you'll understand how to get around it a little easier. But we have some wide open fairways. We have some extremely tight fairways. There's such a good variety of holes on this golf course. This is what kind of makes it special.
As Eli said, it's such an easy trip from downtown, midtown, Harbor Town. Of course, the folks in West Memphis, Wynn, Marion, they all know about it. But for those who don't know where exactly it is, it's real easy to get here.
Really easy to get here, man. You could jump across the bridge, either bridge, at least when they're open.
Just take the ferry if they're not.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go back to the 60s when we opened this place and you had to take a ferry. But, no, it's really easy to get to. And this was a big decision for us to do this. I mean, it was a long-term decision to decide that, you know what, golf is not the way it used to be. The younger generation don't want to become members at a private country club. They want to have options. And now we want to be one of their options they can come play.
And for you, you used to be a member here. You've got history here.
I do. I was playing in the FedEx St. Jude Classic one year and met a girl in Memphis, and she was from Arkansas. And next thing you know, after getting married, I ended up coming out here and becoming a member for 6 years while I was still playing golf for a living. So I have a history. This place has a special place in my heart, and I think people they're going to come over and fall in love with the place. I mean, we have such a history. Miss Margaret in the bar and restaurant has been there for 36 years.
Wow.
So stability has been our long-term thing. We're just opening it up to the public where they can come out and be a member for a day. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be treated as a public player. You're going to be treated as a member when you come out.
Now, again, you could still become a member of Meadowbrook Country Club. That'll cost you $350 a month. And listen to the amenities. You got a great swimming pool. So bring the family over, sit out, catch some rays, swim. Obviously, all the golf, tennis courts, pickleball, that restaurant you just talked about, a great bar. So for $350 a month, you can become a member. If not, and you just want to come out, like you said, and become a member for a day, the normal price, $59. You can't beat it for a country club course. That includes cart. But today, you got a special for Sports 56 listeners.
Man, come on out and tell us you heard us on Sports 56. It's $39 plus tax, including cart for 18 holes. And you're going to enjoy the golf course. You're going to enjoy the amenities. And you're going to be treated like a rock star when you come out here. That is what we pride ourselves on, is treating everybody like a rock star.
And you ordered up some beautiful weather for today. It was very nice of you to do that.
I know a guy.
The number, by the way, to call here at the Pro Shop, 870-394-4186. That's 870-394-4186. Tee times are available for today, again, at that $39 plus tax rate. That includes the car. One other thing, Mark, again, PGA professional, was a touring pro. The guy knows golf. He's also an elite fitter for Shrixon clubs. So you can do those custom-made clubs, order the specs for anybody out there that's interested in Shrixon, and get them the right equipment to play the game better.
Yeah, we are so proud of what we've done this year with Shrixon. We are one of the 3 in the Memphis area to be an elite fitter, and that's a big feather in our cap. And we've got one of the best reps in the country in Darren Trainer. He's always helpful, but we could get you the right equipment, and it will change your game.
Also, 2-man Wednesday night scramble, $30 for members. That's it. $40, though, for non-members. So you can get involved in the Wednesday night scramble as well. Again, same number, 870-394-4186. We will be here until 10. Dave Woloshin will be here for his show, then John Harden. I'm sure you'll hear more from Mark as the morning and early afternoon moves along. Mark, thanks for having us out here. Best of luck. It's a great golf course, and we really appreciate your hospitality.
Pleasure having you guys. Thank you.
That is Mark Bartlett. We thank him so much. and we are having a fantastic time here at Meadowbrook Country Club. Again, take advantage of the great deal today.
No doubt about it. Again, great weather, holiday weekend. Can't beat the deal. If you can get away, might be some folks who are taking a little 4-day weekend or maybe just taking a half day today going into the holiday weekend. Come on out, play some golf. Again, you can also register to win. We're going to give away free golf for 4 here at Meadowbrook Country Club. We're also giving away a 4-pack of tickets for the Memphis Navy game in a couple of weeks. It'll be 2 weeks from tomorrow, Memphis and Navy, and we've got a 4-pack of tickets for that we'll be giving away also today later on just before 1 o'clock. We'll be drawing for those prizes. So come on out here. Even if you can't play, if you could swing on by, you can register to win those prizes and get a chance to come back and play another day with some 3 of your friends if you win the free golf for 4, or head to the Memphis Navy game in a couple of weeks with 4 tickets for that. Well, with college football season upon us, NFL season starting up next week, it's time to be watching games. And when you're watching games, a great place to do that while enjoying some great food, great drinks, great atmosphere. That's my place. That's East Coast Wings and a Grill, located just off Highway 64 between Lowe's and Walmart in Bartlett. East Coast Wings and Grill. I was just there yesterday, as a matter of fact, for lunch. And enjoyed, what did I have for lunch yesterday? I had a quesadilla for lunch. I had a little bacon cheeseburger quesadilla. There's so many beyond the wings. The wings are great, absolutely fabulous. And they got 60 different flavors for you to choose from, 7 different heat indexes to choose from as well. But there's all kinds of other great items on the menu, from their Philly cheesesteak flatbread that I like. The quesadillas are absolutely fantastic. Their burgers are awesome. All kinds of different things on the menu. And, of course, they've got plenty of draft beers, all the drinks, anything that you want, and a great staff to serve you as well. East Coast Wings and Grill, again, just off Highway 64 between Lowe's and Walmart on Kate Hyde Boulevard. For all the games, all the action, or even when there's not games on, it's still a great place to hang out. East Coast Wings and Grill.
A familiar face to Memphis Tigers fans will be leading the team out onto the field tomorrow, and that will become now a thing that will happen every home game with not only former players but dignitaries as well. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we return, and we'll talk to Brian Moss from Rivals and Yahoo, the publisher of TigerSportsReport.com. We'll get his thoughts on the upcoming Tigers football season. Broadcasting live from Meadowbrook Country Club, this is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Memphis football is back Saturday, September 2nd versus Bethune-Cookman at 6 o'clock. We need Memphis at our 901 game home opener as we celebrate our city and welcome the excitement of college football back to the 901. See the new Tiger Tailgate, a new team run out, the Bill Street Flippers, and more. Tickets start at just $20 to witness the 901's football team in action. Be there Saturday, September 2nd. Purchase your tickets today at GoTigersGoTix.com.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
If that sound gives you nightmares, there's a cheap and easy way to avoid engines not firing. Stable, America's #1 fuel stabilizer, ensures quick and easy starts after storage. Stable's proprietary formula keeps fuel fresh for 2 years, outperforming competitors. Pour Stable in your gas can or directly into the tank of your car, truck, hybrid, boat, ATV, motorcycle, or lawnmower to prevent fuel-related engine problems that cost time and money. When you store, start with Stable.
I'm with John Burgos from the world-famous Rendezvous in the Alley since 1948.
Brett, I want to talk about our seasoning and sauce today. Our sauce is a great blend of sweet, mustard, and vinegar. It's good on so many items other than barbecue. It's good on pizza. People use it in lieu of ketchup. But our seasoning is the original dry rub, created by my father using a mixture of Greek and Cajun spices. People think our sauce and seasoning are good just during the grilling season. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's good year-round. Our seasoning is good on fish, chicken, deviled eggs, corn on the cob, French fries. People even put a dash in a Bloody Mary. To get a complete list of all of our recipes using our products, go to hogsfly.com, click recipes, and you'll see 50 wonderful items and dishes. And Brett, our sauce and seasoning is available at most grocery stores, and if they don't have it, please remind your grocer to stock it. And our slaw is also available at most Kroger stores.
Thank you, John. The Rendezvous, Mr. Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous in the Alley since 1948 and celebrating its 75th year.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswingerglass.com. Binswanger Glass.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Right now, still working the accident on I-240 east at Getwell Road. The left lane is blocked. That's I-240 east at Getwell. The left lane is blocked. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
We are halfway home on this Friday edition of Sports 56 Mornings, but not your ordinary Friday edition. It's happy 901 Day to everybody out there, the September 1st edition of the program, and we are broadcasting live today from Meadowbrook Country Club, 1250 West Broadway in West Memphis, Arkansas. It is a pleasure to be out here, and as I mentioned earlier, Dave Woloshin will be following up our show at 10 o'clock with Wolo and Friends. He'll be here, and then John Harden with Johnny Radio, that'll be 11 to 1, so you'll have complete coverage here of what's going on not only in the golf world, but, of course, everything else in the world of sports as we broadcast today. Most of the shows, not all the shows, from Meadowbrook Country Club. Coming up in just a moment, Brian Moss will join us. We talk Tigers football. The Tigers tomorrow open the season against Bethune-Cookman. And former Tigers kicker, three-time Super Bowl champion, and friend of the show, Stephen Gostowski, will be the inaugural Release the Tigers honoree at the game. So beginning with this Saturday's game, Memphis Athletics will designate an honoree to send the team onto the field at each home game. So that's a cool thing. Now, I thought originally it was going to be all former players, but it will also include dignitaries, people that are extremely important to the University of Memphis, and that, I think, is a great move by the athletic department to include these very important people, whether it be a player or not. And Stephen Gostowski, Gotti, will start us off tomorrow. Without further ado, it is time to talk some more Tigers football. Yesterday we had Coach Ryan Silverfield on the show. Today, the publisher of TigerSportsReport.com, which is part of the Rivals and Yahoo networks, our good friend Brian Moss. You can follow him on Twitter at RivalsBMoss. Brian, you fired up for the season?
Oh, I can't wait for it. I'm at the window looking out. Is it Saturday yet? Saturday yet? I can't wait for it.
You have put together on your Tigers Report, TigerSportsReport.com on the website, you have put together a bold prediction, 5 bold predictions for the upcoming season. And look, we've been friends for a long time. I know I know you certainly want to appeal to the Tigers fans and all that, but Brian, one of your bold predictions is the Tigers are winning the AAC championship, huh?
Hey, go big or go home. I mean, we talked about it when I was at the AAC Media Day. When I look at the schedule, I keep reiterating it. The Tigers' difficult conference games are at home. And I just feel Memphis is hard to beat at home, and I'll give them the slight edge. So, I think this could be a very special season, and, we'll see what happens. But I keep going back to the schedule that you have Tulane and SMU, at home. Memphis had, 5 conference losses last year, and only 2 of them are on this year's schedule, and both of them are at home. So that's why I give the Tigers a pretty big bump there.
So what, record-wise, where do you see them?
I have them at, again, positive fall here. Now, I have it at 11-1. The only loss that, when I wrote my article, and different articles, the only loss I see would be Missouri. Because everything else, the Boise, you're at home. The tough games, you're at home. That's why I think this year could be a very special year for Memphis, because your difficult games, your toss-up games, to me, are at home.
Well, I see where you're coming from, and we've been talking about it as well. I have the Tigers going 9-3, and they have been dominant at home. It doesn't guarantee that they're winning at home just because they got Tulane and they got SMU at home. But it puts them in position, I think, to have that special season, Brian. So I'm on board with that. I just don't think there's any guarantees when you play Tulane, which we know is loaded. We saw last year in New Orleans what Tulane did to the Tigers in the first half. Now, the Tigers, I give them all the credit in the world. They bounced back in the second half to make it incredibly competitive. But Tulane slapped them around early. Let's hope that doesn't happen. They got Michael Pratt back. And we know that SMU has a really strong roster because they have that NIL money to be able to give to the players. So they've been able to get players from Power 5 conference schools. So, again, just because they're home, I don't know if they're going to win all those games. But certainly at least they have the possibility of being able to have that success.
Oh, definitely. Tulane hasn't beat, Memphis in quite a while. I have – and anytime there's a toss-up game, I tend to lean to the home team. And like I said, since Memphis is at home, and just the way the schedule lines up, I mean, you take Memphis's roster, to me, they hit a home run in the transfer portal. Rivals finally has transfer portal rankings for the 2023 season, or for the recruiting class. Memphis had a top 20 recruiting class in the transfer portal. Josh Ellison, I think, is going to be a beast on that defensive line. And I think the progressiveness that I see from these players, man, I'm real giddy about this season the same way I was giddy, back in 2014. I really see a lot of similarities.
And if your prediction, by the way, is correct, I know that'll make some fans happy because if they buy the $60 ticket, they'll have gotten every game. They'll have
$10 a pop.
There'll be a $10 a game ticket, so they'll be very happy with that prediction. One of the other things, no surprise, one of your things was that Seth Hennigan, if you think they're going to go 11-1 and win the championship, that Seth Hennigan would be the offensive player of the year in the conference. Also, though, you say that Memphis will have a 1,000-yard rusher. So who do you think it is that separates themselves from that group to become that 1,000-yard guy?
To me, I've thought about this and tossed back and forth between Blake Watson and Sutton Smith. I think it'll be Sutton Smith. It's going to be one of those, but I'll give the slight edge to Sutton Smith because I think he'll have more. He has more of a breakaway speed and explosiveness and can bust one loose when you get open. So for me, look for Sutton Smith to be that 1,000-yard, rusher. Finally, it's been 3-4 years since Memphis had one, and again, I go back to the Memphis schedule and the defenses that Memphis is going to see. I mean, it's you're not going to have a lot of top 30, top 50 defenses on the schedule. So to me, Memphis could have a very great year, and statistically, I think Hennigan is going to have a great year. And yes, you'll definitely see that 1,000-yard receiver runner this year.
If it doesn't go the way you believe, or many of us believe, why would be the reason?
To me, it would be injuries. I don't think, there was a lot of, I questioned a lot of decision making last year, and we've talked about that. When Silverfield looks at, his coaching career at Memphis, I do believe that, I think last time I said he learned his lesson. That's kind of harsh, but he's learned. He's matured. He's growing into himself as a coach. I think he's more of a head coach now than he was when he first took over the job at Memphis. So I think he has a better understanding. And I think if he had to make the same decisions, going back, I think even though he says in his press conferences he wouldn't make a different decision after the game, but I think deep down he would make some different decisions. And I think you'll see that this year. I think in some areas he'll be a little bit more aggressive, and in some areas, maybe he won't be as aggressive. I think he'll be more balanced this year.
So you think it'll be, if something goes awry, it's going to be on the coach?
Well, injuries, I don't think it'll be coaching decisions. That's where I think, he's learned from the mistakes of the past. That's why I don't think if Memphis, let's just say Memphis is, 7 wins or maybe 8 wins, I don't think it'll be coaching. I think it'll be more of injuries and maybe player mistakes. But I think the players will be in position, this year with Ramsey and Barnes. I'm really excited about this defense. I really don't see a way that Memphis, gets stuck in that, 6-win area or 7 wins. Just because, I just see what they have coming back. I see what they brought in. And I really don't see it. And maybe I'm just too much of a positive Paul, because, I've had a lot of arguments or discussions with Tiger fans that are like, that would call me delusional. How can you have, a team that's, 6 wins, and all of a sudden, they're conference champs? And I go back to, hey, Fuente, you saw the progression, and then all of a sudden, after a 3-win season, you had 10 wins and you win in the conference. And I was like, I just see a lot of similarities where back then the team was young, and then, they matured and boom, they took off. For the past 2 years, Memphis had back-to-back best ever recruiting classes. Those kids are now mature. You can't use that as an excuse anymore. Seth Hennigan's a junior. A lot of these kids are now mature enough to where I think they truly understand the game, and it's just going to take off this year. That's why I really don't see, a letdown this year because of everything that I've mentioned, the schedule, the matureness of this back-to-back best ever recruiting class, the influx of the top 20 recruiting class. I just think everything's right there in front of Memphis to have a great year.
So if they do win the conference championship, who do you think they beat in the conference championship game?
To me, I have them beating UTSA. The UTSA, they only have, I think it's just one. Yeah, they only have one tough game. And to me, a tough game in the AAC is of the top 4 teams. And they play Tulane, and it's at Tulane. So, that's going to be a tricky game to watch, but I have UTSA winning that one. To me, I love, the way that team's made up. They're fast. Coach Traylor does a great job. They won where they were last year. It was a Conference USA. They won the conference championship there. I think they're going to have another great year. And like I said, there's one tough game that's on their schedule in the conference, and that's against Tulane.
All right, real quick, Brian, 2 things before we let you go. So if they win the conference, do you believe that the American winner, being Memphis, would be the representative in the Group of 5 game?
I do, because the only other threat would be Boise, and you have Boise on the schedule. So if Memphis beats Boise,
they would have beaten them, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you control your own destiny there.
Okay. And then, obviously, the news from this morning with Cal and Stanford and SMU ready to join, and the votes are in. They have gotten the green light to join the ACC in 2024. That means SMU will be leaving the American Conference. Whether Mike Oresco replaces them or just leaves it as is, that's up to him. Now, you don't want an odd number. I don't think you would want an odd number. You're a military guy. Do you think Army would be the right replacement, or do you know, you have any thoughts on who you think would be a good replacement for SMU?
Yeah, I've been pushing that Army bandwagon for a while. Every year at the AAC Media Day, I ask the Navy guys, would you want Army in the American? And nearly all of them have said yes. So the last go-around when, Charlotte and everybody else was added to the American Conference, I asked the Navy players and some of the Navy, coaches, they would love for Army to be in the American. Now, what do you do with the Army-Navy game? And I asked them, it's like, since what do you do with it? It's great to have it at the end of the season. You're the only game on. What do you do with that since it's going to be a conference game? And nearly all of them, again, said, move it instead of the last game of the season, move it to the beginning, the first game of the season. Now, I don't know how fans would react to that, but, according to the players that I've talked to, they would just have the Army-Navy game. Obviously, it's going to be a conference game. Move it from the last game of the season to the first game of the season. But if you don't add Army, I think there's a lot of teams that, that's out there. I'm thinking football-wise. So to me, Coastal Carolina is a hot name, but, Happy State would be another one. If you go west, obviously we'd try to love to get Oregon State and Washington State if you could. But a sneaky good one that I'd like, that I really don't hear a lot of people talk about, is James Madison. I think they have a sneaky little good program that's just going to continue to impress folks.
He is Brian Moss. He's the publisher of TigerSportsReport.com. It's part of the Rivals and Yahoo networks. You can follow him on Twitter at RivalsBMoss. Thank you, Brian. We will talk to you down the road. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. You guys have a good one.
You too. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, we appreciate them. Delicious, slow-smoked barbecue. You can dine in, carry out, have that no-contact delivery. Any of the services can deliver to your home or office, and you can ship it around the country wherever you want to send it to, a family member, a friend. Also, catering events. You got an event that's coming up, you want it catered. Corky's have been catering as long as they've been in existence, 4 decades. They'll start you out as low as $8.99 per person. When you head on over for lunch or dinner, grab yourself an entree, whether it be that pulled pork plate or that award-winning catfish plate, maybe their tamales. Make sure to grab a third of a rack of ribs for just $6.99. You get a great deal on that when you purchase an entree. Party pack starting at just $7.49, and lunch specials every single day. 4 convenient locations in the Mid-South: Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. And you can reserve your private party room at their Cordova or Olive Branch locations. They got a little birthday party coming up or any event. Go ahead and give them a call in Cordova or Olive Branch and make sure you reserve the private party room. While you're there, pick up a few Corky's gift cards. It's Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. We are broadcasting live from Meadowbrook Country Club. It is a country club that is now open to you. It's semi-private now. You can play this terrific country club course. And today, if you mention Sports 56, you can come out, bring your friends, play for $39 in tax, and that includes a cart. And they got tee time, so give them a call today. That phone number, once again, here at Meadowbrook is 870-394-4186. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
One of the most infamous and controversial bands in the world. Wasp, the 40th Never Stops World Tour with special guest, Armored Saint. Wasp live. This Thursday night, Graceland Live. Tickets are on sale now at waspnation.com. Wasp, feel the sting.
Is your roof leaking? Do you have water damage on your ceiling of your home or business? Do you need assistance gathering much-needed data and images from your storm-damaged roof for an insurance claim? Call Metro Builders, roof and restoration specialists, and schedule your free inspection. At Metro Builders, our team of Hague-certified technicians and fully trained estimators are ready to come out and evaluate any concerns you may have. Metro Builders Roof and Restoration. We accept all insurance carrier scopes. Call Metro Builders now. Each and every day, we provide clients many different types of data and estimates for their insurance carrier. These include estimate and photo reports of all damage, from the roof to water damage on rafters and ceilings and even studs and plates inside walls. Check out the local BBB for our 27-year history in construction in Memphis, or check us out online today at metrobuildersmemphis.com. That's metrobuildersmemphis.com for your local residential and commercial roofing and restoration experts. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Hey folks, Ryan McElroy here with Sunrise Buick GMC. I know the temps are going up, but the prices are dropping here at the Sunrise Super Summer Sale. Huge selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Discounts up to $6,500 and a $12 million used car inventory. If you're not 100% happy with your car, don't pay another penny on it. Top dollar for trade-ins, or we'll just buy it from you. Bad credit, slow pay, bankruptcy, it's okay at Sunrise. Call, click, or come on in to any of the 3 Sunrise locations here in town. Covenant Pike, Wolf Chase, or Carnival, come check us out at sunrisememphis.com. We make it fun to buy a car.
Now that your people are starting to return to their offices and other workplaces, it's time to think about doing something special for them. And nothing is more special than having a breakfast or lunch catered by Sunrise. Sunrise on Jefferson or Sunrise on Poplar can provide delicious, fresh food for your team that will be better than anything from anywhere else. If you've got 20 or more people, a meal from Sunrise will make everybody happy to be back at work. We always say this, but where your people are concerned, why settle when you can have Sunrise?
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
To reveal the full spectrum of its dazzling color.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
If you are just tuning in, you missed it earlier today. The big news again, Cal, Stanford, SMU will be joining the ACC. They got the votes starting in 2024. Also, Team USA, a hard-fought win over Montenegro. Tougher than people thought, 85-73. They expected USA to win that game convincingly. Wasn't the case. Tripp had 11 points, but 2 early fouls, no rebounds, no blocks for Jaren Jackson Jr. Team USA will move into this was not an elimination game, but they will move now to play, who is it on Sunday?
They play Lithuania.
They'll play Lithuania on Sunday, and then hopefully they win that game, then it's on to the knockout stage, quarterfinals.
Text on the Sports 56 listener line, 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255, says if Oregon State and Washington State go to the Mountain West, who would be the leader in the clubhouse for the AAC's newest member. They mentioned Arby, Middle Tennessee State, UMass. They mentioned UAB, but UAB is already in the conference.
Well, you just had Brian Moss rattle off some schools.
I like the schools. The 2 that I would look at first would be Coastal Carolina and App State, if I'm Mike Oresco.
Me too.
I think James Madison certainly would be an option, a good option as well.
Are you against Army?
I I wouldn't want Army because as I've said, I think the military academies are screwed. I just don't know what they do they don't do anything for me. I would much rather go get a program that I think can continue to get better. On the last round, they went for big city schools. So they've already got Florida Atlantic. Would Florida International be one that he would look at? Does he want to continue kind of that pattern of looking just at big markets? I don't know what they would want to do, but just for football purposes alone, it would be Coastal Carolina, App State, and then probably James Madison would be my top three if I'm Mike Oresco.
So a couple of thoughts. One, it probably doesn't make sense with Army because Navy doesn't play all sports in this league. They play the Patriot League. So Army, if they're not coming in to play all sports, which they probably wouldn't, then you have, again, the odd number because all the schools you just brought in that are playing in the conference for the first time this season are all sports. So I think you would want an all-sports entity. So I don't think it would be Army. App State, Coastal Carolina, especially App State and 1AA, how good they were, but they have already made an impact in 1A. Coastal Carolina has made an impact. Nice football programs. I can understand where this person's coming from as far as regional. Do you bring back a Southern Miss? Do you bring back a Middle Tennessee State? Even though I don't think MTSU was in Conference USA, if I'm not mistaken, but Southern Miss was. But here, you know what? The fact that we're talking about this, it's crap, right? That Memphis is not the one going into the Power Conference, that it's SMU, and we're talking about adding another school that I think Tiger fans would say is inferior where the Tigers are athletically and where they should be. That's the sad part. Last year we were talking about the new additions and kind of chuckling, gosh, Florida Atlantic, Rice, and of course Florida Atlantic goes on their great run in basketball. But look, this is reality right now, and Memphis is on the outside looking in. So you can only better yourself. Now, what I would really love to see, if you're not going to get into a major conference, is a combination of the best of the Mountain West, best of the American Conference, and Oregon State and Washington State. It's not going to be some great conference, but it wouldn't be too bad. But that's not going to happen because you have deals in place already for the Mountain West, for the American. We know that the Mountain West, if they were to leave, would be a $30 million exit fee. You're not leaving to join two schools in the Pac-12, but could you leave to join a combination of a couple of conferences, a group of 5 schools, along with Oregon State, Washington State? These are things that have to be figured out because just the simple Oregon State, Washington State accepting an invite to the Mountain West, to me, doesn't make a lot of sense because the Mountain West is paying out way less, than the American is. It's like American $6.5 million, the Mountain West is like $3 million.
And even if you were to get Oregon State, Washington State, I still think you have to add another one because I just don't see how you could play with an odd number in football.
I'm with you.
I don't see how you could have
100%.
every week where one of your teams either has a bye week or has to play a non-conference game. I just don't see scheduling-wise how you do it. I think you have to have an even number. Got a text from somebody asking about UConn. I mean, UConn was in the conference. They left. I don't think UConn has any desire to come back to the American.
No.
UConn, I think, had interest in going to the Big 12, to a Power 5 conference maybe, but I don't think I would have any reason to want to come back to the American Conference. And they didn't like it when they were here, obviously, and it got the heck out.
They seem to be fine as an independent football with basketball in the Big East and kicking tail like they did. By the way, UConn under Jim Mora Jr. has really improved. They lost last night to NC State, but it was a pretty good battle, 24-14. From the NFL, Matt Corral, the former Ole Miss quarterback, who was released by the Panthers. I didn't even know he had been released. I only saw this because he was added to the New England Patriots. And I said, wait, Matt Corral got released by the Panthers? Well, evidently he did. So the Patriots pick up Matt Corral, and it looks like Matt Corral is going to be the backup to Mac Jones. Bailey Zappi was cut.
Well, they only had one quarterback on the roster, so he makes it 2.
And Bailey Zappi was brought back for the practice squad. So it looks like Matt Corral will be the backup in New England when he couldn't even be the third quarterback in Carolina because you're now able to keep the 3 quarterbacks. And so you're looking at Bryce Young, Andy Dalton. I don't know who the third guy is. Also, sad news from the NFL. Gil Brandt, one of the architects of the Dallas Cowboys, turned them into really a name brand, Super Bowl champion, He was the vice president of player personnel for 28 years, has passed away at the age of 91.
One of the greats. Used to see him every single year at the Super Bowl. Loved Gil Brandt. Obviously, he was very instrumental in those early Cowboys. So yes, I'm partial to Gil Brandt.
From the Major League Baseball world, the Guardians, who were sellers at the trade deadline, now all of a sudden they're buyers, trying to get back into it. Think they can catch the Minnesota Twins for the NL Central title. They pick up Luis Giolito, Reynaldo Lopez, and Matt Moore from the Angels. That is weird. That is just a weird move right there. Then all of a sudden now they go, okay, well, now we're going to try.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this is cheap. You pay 1 month's salary.
Harrison Bader, former Cardinal, cut by the Yankees, picked up by the Reds. The Reds also picked up Hunter Renfroe, who was released by the Angels. So you got some movement in Major League Baseball for teams that are in the chase to try to get to the postseason. Again, we're at Meadowbrook Country Club, 1250 West Broadway. It's an easy drive from downtown, from Midtown, from Harbortown. You're talking about 12, 13 minutes to get here, but really from anywhere in the area. It's a hidden gem. It has been a country club, a private club since 1959, but now it is semi-private. Available for you to come out and play. The daily rate for you guys is $59 in tax. That's including a cart to play a private course that's now semi-private. So a country club course, and that's a great price. But today, only today, if you mention Sports 56, you get out here $39, including the cart, to play Meadowbrook Country Club. Again, been around since 1959, a hidden jewel of golf courses in the Mid-South. When we come back, our final hour here on Sports 56 Mornings, he's back, baby. Wake up the kids. No, put the kids to sleep. Yeah, the kids don't want anything to do with this. Brandon Lang is coming up next, the always colorful handicapper. We'll talk college football, and we'll talk a lot of stories with Brandon Lang. Then 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation before we hand things off to Dave Woloshin. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
At Sissy's Log Cabin, you'll find only spectacular natural diamonds that will remain treasured for generations. That promise is now symbolized by the engraved Sissy signature and sapphire, representing our guarantee of extraordinary service, selection, experience, and quality. Stop by any of our stores or visit sissyslogcabin.com and experience the Sissy's promise for yourself. Find a jeweler for a lifetime. Only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Start your day the right way at La Palapa with the biggest, baddest breakfast burrito around. Chorizo, cheese, rice, beans, and eggs served with fresh salsa, and it's served all day. La Palapa has daily lunch specials, all served with rice and beans, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Try a torta, breaded chicken, steak, chorizo, or ham served with mayo, avocado, lettuce, tomato, and jalapenos, all in a hoagie. Plus amazing soups and dinner entrees, all at La Palapa, 5255 Summer Avenue. La Palapa, the little hut with big taste.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5-Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5-Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5-Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
Right now, no accidents or delays to report. No accidents or delays. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Witness the power.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
I've been roaming around, always looking down at all I see.
Welcome back, everybody. Final hour for us today here on Sports 56 Mornings. Getting set for the holiday weekend. Labor Day coming up on Monday. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy on location today in West Memphis. We're at Meadowbrook Country Club. It's at 1250 West Broadway, a hidden golf gem in the Mid-South. Also, our producer extraordinaire, Zach Boyd, is back at the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Their summer clearance sale continues this weekend. Got some extra time with Monday, most of you off. Check out what they have to offer at Family Leisure. Now, Mark Bartlett, the pro out here at Meadowbrook Country Club, astutely pointed out that I messed up when I was talking baseball, and I was talking about the Guardians trying to make a run now, and I said the National League Central, of course, the American League Central. Thank you, Mark, for pointing that out. I'm glad you're listening. Appreciate that. Thank you. Coming up in just a second, Brandon Lang's going to join us for another season, and then 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. But again, call today for $39. You can play this tremendous course that includes the cart. The number for the Pro Shop, 870-394-4186. Just tell them you heard it here on Sports 56. Without further ado, back for another season, the one and only Brandon Lang from BrandonLang.com and the podcast, Believe Me, talking NFL, talking college football with Clay Harbor and Cam Rogers. He is Brandon Lang. Brandon, how are you, my friend? I hope you had a great summer.
Wait a minute. Where's the intro?
I got to get a new one done, and it's not done yet. So we're gonna hold off. I got to get it perfected first.
Listen, I got a new girl in my life, and I want her to hear the old intro. Can I get to know? I'm trying to make an impression here, guys.
Zach,
and I got no
Zach,
intro.
Is the old intro still in there, Zach?
Yes, it is.
I'm trying to impress this woman on every single level. We're going to talk about her in a minute.
Just tell her you're talking to us.
No, well,
it isn't about the intro. It's about who you're talking to.
In the 32 days I've known her, I'm 23-9. Boys, give me the intro. Let's go, baby. Come on.
It's time to handicap this week's action. Joining Greg and Eli is sports handicapper Brandon Lang, subject of the movie 2 for the Money.
30 years, Your Honor. I just lost it. 30 years of these bad beats. 30 years of this nonsense of these athletes being idiots.
Get Brandon's plays at BrandonLang.com.
And I can't trust a quarterback that if you're going to go on a date with a porn star, she's not the hottest porn star that ever breathed oxygen.
Also listen to Brandon with former NFL quarterback Cordell Stewart on the Believe Me podcast on the Believe Podcast Network.
buddy, I think your teenie's got a hearing problem. The guy says, really? You think I asked for a 12-inch pianist?
Now, here's Brandon with Greg and Eli.
There we go. Are you happy now?
They're laughing in the pro shop where we're at, but obviously he's not with Cordell anymore. He's with Clay Harbor. He's with Cam Rogers. You fired up about the podcast?
I am, but more fired up about this. So let me just break this down. You guys know I went through the ugly divorce and just basically took 2 years to kind of just be a complete guy. I have met the number one overall. So there's the NFL Combine, and the athletes come in and they like Deion rolled in, ran the 40 and left. So this is how hot she is. If there was a combine for single women in their 50s, she would roll in there because she's from Alabama, but she went to college in New York, and she's kind of been now New York flavored, if you'll put it that way. But she would roll in and grab the knife, put that little Alabama twang to it, and every girl at that combine would just walk off. Just we ain't got no shot, none whatsoever. Done. See it, done. She's not only drop dead gorgeous, but she has Julia Roberts' personality from Pretty Woman times 1,000.
Wow,
that is the best way to describe her. You outkick your coverage, you're a little over your ski tips. Guys, she is so far out of my pay grade. But I'm going to tell you something. The one thing Drew Diener in Louisville said, calls me Romeo Lang. And listen, the only thing you guys is try to make an impact on that heart. Like I said, 32 days. We spent 20 of those 32 together. I'm 23-9. And she handicaps. She's from Alabama. She knows the SEC right out of the box. Hawaii's going to cover that number against Andy. You watch. That's easy money right there. Hawaii was getting like 20-something and lost by 7. So she's 1-0 validated and documented. She's absolutely on fire. She's on a scale of 1 to 10. She's 100. And I got to tell you guys, it's pretty spectacular. All BS aside.
Well, that's good.
Congratulations.
We're happy
What were the odds though she gave that she was going to be with you? Because she's a handicapper. Those odds had to be astronomical.
Listen, I was a huge underdog in this deal right here. I was getting 28 that I would even get a date with her. And we met on Hinge.com of all places. We met on Hinge.com on a whim, and she was the third Hinge date I'd gone on in New York, and she was going to be my last date. And it's just one of those things where everybody's like, well, you're in the honeymoon phase. You know what? The honeymoon phase applies when you're in your 20s, but not when she's 52 and I'm 60 and you're so set in your ways and you know who you are. And so I will tell you guys, last thing I'm going to say, we'll get into the games, is that in the 20 days we spent together, we spent 2 days in Montauk together and then at her place for 2 days on top of each other as far as just you think there'd be a negative pet peeve, leave the toilet seat up, didn't rinse out my glass in the sink, whatever it is. Guys, I'm not lying to you when I tell you all 20 days have been perfect. And it just keeps getting more intense in a positive way rather than anything else. So, you know what? I can't be naive to think that I've only known her 32 days. There's probably a couple millionaires out there that she's still got to tie up loose ends with. You're laying in bed with her and her phone beeps at 2:30 in the morning. And I'm just saying that her phone beeps at 2:30 in the morning. Like, who's texting her at 2:30? So you can't be the insecure guy that goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and goes, oh boy. You're just like, I'm here, they're there, let's roll with it. Her friend Amy had the best line last night. Her friend Amy said, I've never seen her this happy. Just keep doing what you're doing. So it's pretty spectacular. And going back to what I said in the opening, I'm 23-9 since I met her. And you guys know how emotional I am with games and bad beats and get upset and get crazy. But when everything lines up, last night UConn plus the points, I think I've won Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's just I told her let's just keep doing what we're doing because this winning streak is.
Well, let's keep the winning ways going here.
I would have thought for sure that you would have to be on unhinged.com. I would never have guessed you could have been unhinged.
Bro,
you seem very unhinged.
You know what
By the way, you met one of my man Dan Chartrand over the summer when you were caddying somewhere.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I met Danny.
Where was that?
Danny was actually.
He can hit the ball a long way, can he?
I'm not going to say on air.
He can hit the ball a long way.
He was playing with one of my whales, big time. So it's great. But listen, at the end of the day, you know what it's like dating out here. you know what it's like dating out here in this day and age? So you have to do the dating apps. And here's the key to anybody listening right now. If you're on a dating app and they don't show a body picture, run! If they don't show a body picture, their face is cute from the waist up, bro, run. They're a bus. They're a train coming down the track. Run. You have to have a body picture. That's the biggest piece of advice I give a dating apps.
All right, let me.
I met my wife on a dating app, so there you go.
Let me segue that into this. We see from the shoulders up, Coach Prime. We don't see from the shoulders down. That's Colorado team. A lot of buzz about completely overhauling the team. I don't know if they're any good. I don't know if they have any substance this year. TCU, we know, is really good. 17th ranked, even though they lost their quarterback. They're a 20.5-point favorite. They're going to win the game, but are they going to cover against Colorado?
Bro, he's no longer named Prime. His nickname's Stubby. He's got two toes already chopped off. They're saying his foot's probably going to be chopped off. He's gimping around, but he's I'm re-nicknaming Deion Sanders Stubby Prime. Stubby Prime. What's up, Stubby? Stubby, my man. My man, Stubby. Listen, the over-under in that game is 59.5. I'm going under the posted total with these new clock rules. I love it. I think that posted total is way too high. I think TCU offensively is going to struggle a little bit. Breaking a new quarterback. I think Colorado's going to struggle a little bit. New system, new quarterback. Under 59.5. I really like that play.
Okay.
What do you think of the Tennessee-Virginia game? It's 4 touchdowns. Virginia's bad. Tennessee, quarterback change. They lost some talent, but you know they're going to score some points with Josh Heupel's offense. Because can Tennessee cover the 4 touchdowns?
Bro, I think it's too many. I mean, like you said, it's still an ACC school out of the box. You look at Nebraska and Minnesota last night. Nebraska got there when people didn't expect much from them. I think it's too many points. I really do. It's like if Virginia's not going to show up. Their coach is rock solid. Tennessee breaking in a new quarterback. Give me all those points. Absolutely. I mean, seriously, I just don't see it. I don't. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's way too many points.
On paper, there's just not a lot of great matches. We have a lot of big point spreads. You just mentioned Tennessee, Virginia, 28. First game I asked you was TCU, Colorado, 20.5. Now I'm going to ask you about Oklahoma, which I don't know if Brent Venables is going to be the guy. I don't know. He's following in the footsteps of Lincoln Riley. They're going to, again, win comfortably over Butch Jones' Arkansas State team. I bring up Arkansas State because they're on Memphis' schedule for next week. 35.5-point favorite is Oklahoma in Norman. Do they cover 35.5?
Listen to me. USC was laying a big fat, I think it was 30.5 to San Jose State out of the box and didn't cover the number. And you get these teams laying these big numbers where you're like, really? I mean, is this a bit atrocious? I mean, they got 11 starters back from a team that went 3-9 last year. If this kid at quarterback, Shrout, who's a senior, if he plays well, they're going to be fine. I mean, I know they lost their quarterback, top running back, and 2 top wide receivers, but I think that they're going to hang around here. I do, just based on their coach. I'm going to take the 35. I'm a dog guy, so I'm an underdog in dating this girl. We're going with dogs all this week, boys.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
And along that line, again, I know Ohio State's way better than Indiana, but new quarterback, they're on the road. It is a conference game right off the bat. 30 seems like a lot there.
Listen, he's going to, and I'm taking the dog again. He's breaking in 2 quarterbacks. He says he's going to play both. So how cohesive are they going to be right out of the box, laying that many points on the road? Listen, I know Indiana had a lot of guys hit the transfer portal. They say Allen's kind of lost the team, but you're a home dog. If you're going to get Ohio State, you got to get them early. I'm going to grab the 31 with Indiana.
Washington, 10th ranked, 14-point favorite at home against Boise, another team on the Memphis schedule in Memphis. Huskies by 14. What do you like in that one?
There's a lot of people hyped on Washington. I mean, a lot. I've talked to people, living in Vegas and talking to people that they're thinking Washington's going to win the Pac-12, or what's left of the Pac-12 rather. But there's some people that are going absolutely crazy about them. But how far Boise has fallen to be this big a favorite out of the box, I'm going to force Washington to show me that they're ready to rock and roll, and I'm gonna roll with Boise in this one. I don't care what anybody says. I still think Boise, with 9 starters back on offense, can score enough to stay within this number. I know they only got 5 starters back on defense, but I'm gonna roll with Boise plus points based on their offensive firepower.
The best matchup of the weekend comes on Sunday. We'll get to that in a moment. Probably the best matchup tomorrow is the Battle of the Carolinas. North Carolina, South Carolina. North Carolina, the short favorite at -2.5 on this game being played in Charlotte. What do you think there?
I may regret this pick because the theme of SEC team getting points in non-conference games. I think South Carolina's won 9 of the last 11 meetings or something like that. But with 17 starters back, with May back at quarterback, with 5-0 against the spread, laying less than 4 points versus the SEC, you have to play North Carolina here or stay away. It's as simple as that. The numbers say it. The returning starters say it. South Carolina's only got 13 starters back. I know Spencer Rattler was great at times, but he's still turnover prone. I have to lean towards North Carolina -2.5.
Texas San Antonio comes into the American Conference this year with Memphis. Houston leaves to go to the Big 12. Houston is hosting the Roadrunners. UTSA is a 2-point favorite on the road at Houston. I love the Roadrunners. I thought they were going to be a dog by 2 or 3 points, but they're the favorite. What do you think?
Is this unbelievable that you would think that we would ever see UTSA favored? I mean, against a team like Houston, first of all, they're lethal.
On the road,
They
too.
really are. Frank Harris Sr., if you watched him play, he's lethal. Their offense was lethal last year. 8 starters back on offense, 8 starters back on defense, so they're the favorite for a reason. Sometimes you have to trust what the line maker's giving you. You know, if it looks like a trap and smells like a trap, it's probably a trap. How do you not take Houston plus 2.5? It's Houston. How do you not take them? I think UTSA is on the upswing, and I think you lay the number there. I think they're a legit team to get into a big-time bowl game, and I'm going to roll with them, -2.5.
All right, the big one Sunday night. LSU, 2-point favorite against Florida State down in Orlando. Which way you going?
I'm going to take Florida State. I had them last year. Made me some money. They're absolutely loaded. 17 starters back, 9 back on defense. I like this kid, Travis. He's a senior. Brian Kelly last year down the stretch, 2-6 against the number. I think the honeymoon's over. I like the uptick of what Norvell's been doing at Florida State. Let's rock and roll with the Seminole. Plus the 2.5.
And Brandon, any game that we haven't talked about that you really like?
Beware of the Mid-American Conference. Miami of Ohio plus 17.5 over Miami. Miami of Ohio is loaded. Northern Illinois plus 8. Northern Illinois plus 8.5 over BC. Really like that one. And Bowling Green plus 9.5 over Liberty. Take a peek at those. The two I really like. Northern Illinois plus the 8.5 and Bowling Green plus the 9.5. To flat out, for my girl, because she loves it when I say this, flat out, get her done. We got to get her done now. Get her done.
Well, we will have a even better open next week for your girlfriend to hear. So be ready for that. Tell everybody about your podcast.
Podcast is great. Clay's doing great. He's actually, not saying anything bad about Cordell, but Clay's actually got an opinion. He absolutely destroyed me in preseason football. Who wins in preseason football? Well, he went like 9-3 in preseason football. I'm like, geez, wow. Talk about having an opinion. So I said, now with college football, let's see how good he is now. But he's got an opinion. So and we spar more than Cordell and I did. So it's fun. Clay's a stud, and it's a lot of fun. Good stuff.
It's great to have you back for another season. We still got to get you to Memphis, maybe you and your girlfriend, and do a show somewhere down here in, we're in West Memphis today, but in Memphis, I have a show with you. We always appreciate it, Brandon. We'll talk to you next week.
Listen, she loves to travel, so you don't got to twist her arm to go somewhere. This is her saying. Have passport, we'll travel. Have passport, we'll travel. Let's go.
We'll talk to you next week. Thanks, Brandon.
All right.
We will talk with Brandon each and every week, not only college, but obviously next week will be week 1 of the NFL. We'll have our NFL predictions on Wednesday, and then Brandon will handicap some of those games on Friday.
It's funny because my buddy Dan Chartrand, when he was like, I've met a guy that knows you, and he couldn't remember his name, and I was like, I don't even know who that. I can't remember where he told me it was. It was at this golf course, and I was like, I have no idea who you would possibly have run into at this golf course that knows me. And he couldn't think of his name or anything else. And finally he told me he was caddying, and I was like, oh, it's got to be Brandon Lang. And so, but yeah, Brandon Lang.
Where was it?
I don't remember what golf course it was.
Was it Vegas, though?
I don't remember. I can't remember where Dan told me that was. But yeah, it was Brandon. And when Dan said he was from Memphis, Brandon was like, I know this guy's from Memphis. So yeah, it was funny. But he couldn't think of his name. And I was like, I have no idea who it could possibly be. And then finally it all came together, and it was, Brandon Lang. That's the only thing that would possibly make sense as far as that is concerned. Folks, if you are moving, that can be a stressful thing. Stressful time, and all the things you got to deal with and try and make sure everything's organized and you're getting where your stuff's getting where it's going, all of that stuff, trying to get people to help you. Don't try and ask friends to help you move. Get experts, get professionals, get the folks at Black Tie Moving. 901-316-6196. That's the phone number. You can also go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis. Talk to them. They work with you, coming up with a plan for you, with you, fitting your needs and fitting your budget as well. Plus, you get a no-obligation quote up front when you are dealing with the folks at Black Tie Moving. You get a moving concierge, available 24/7 to answer questions that may come up during the process. But you know your things, your belongings are getting where they're going without any problems, and they'll do as much or as little as you want. Whatever you need them to do, again, they're going to work with you coming up with that plan, fitting exactly what your needs are. Black Tie Moving, 901-316-6196, or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis.
Hey, if you're not heading out of town or heading to the lake or wherever it may be for Labor Day weekend, you're at home, you're looking for something to do, again, we're at Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis, a hidden golf gem. And right now, today, if you mention Sports 56, come on over and play golf for just $39 plus tax. That includes a cart. Just give them a call here at the Pro Shop, 870-394-4186, 870-394-4186. Now, if you want to play tomorrow or Sunday or anytime, they're open Tuesday through Sunday. You can play for $59 plus tax. That's including a card. And again, you're playing on a country club course, and you're getting that great deal. It's now semi-private for you. If you want to join, they're still taking members at $350 per month. That includes golf, swimming, tennis, pickleball. They got a great restaurant. We're about to dive into some delicious breakfast and a terrific bar as well. They have it all for you, all the amenities you want in a country club. It's Meadowbrook Country Club. Again, give Mark Bartlett a call. That same number, 870-394-4186. When we come back, we'll play 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. If you want to play, get on the Sports 56 listener lines right now at 360-8255. That's 901-360-8255. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Is your roof leaking? Do you have water damage on your ceiling of your home or business? Do you need assistance gathering much-needed data and images from your storm-damaged roof for an insurance claim? Call Metro Builders, roof and restoration specialists, and schedule your free inspection. At Metro Builders, our team of Hague-certified technicians and fully trained estimators are ready to come out and evaluate any concerns you may have. Metro Builders Roof and Restoration. We accept all insurance carrier scopes. Call Metro Builders now. Each and every day we provide clients many different types of data and estimates for their insurance carrier. These include estimate and photo reports of all damage, from the roof to water damage on rafters and ceilings and even studs and plates inside walls. Check out the local BBB for our 27-year history in construction in Memphis, or check us out online today at metrobuildersmemphis.com. That's metrobuildersmemphis.com for your local residential and commercial roofing and restoration experts. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use. You can bet on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Tennessee. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789. NFL Sunday Ticket offer ends 9/18/23. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket, not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel anytime.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything. A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Okay, this card looked great wrapped around you,
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
The body's a temple, that's what we're told.
So this is really cool. We've been here since 7 a.m. and gentleman just walked in to play golf. He's the first person now to play at Meadowbrook as it's become semi-private. Gosh, members, obviously, have played here since 1959. But the first now, semi-private, walks in and got his tee time, and he's ready to go play. And you can as well. And all you have to do, look, you can come by. There's plenty of tee times available today if you just want to come on by, see the folks here at Meadowbrook. Or you can call. Set up a tee time at 870-394-4186. Also, as I mentioned earlier, you're looking for new clubs. Shrixon makes a great club. Mark is an elite fitter. Mark Bartlett, the pro out here, former touring pro. There's only 3 in the Memphis area, so he can do that for you. Custom-made clubs. Order the specs, get it taken care of, work with you out here in the range. Mark is also great as far as lessons are concerned and things of that nature. So come out and visit Mark Bartlett at Meadowbrook Country Club. How's the breakfast? You're almost done.
It's fantastic. Miss Margaret knows what she's doing. You've been around for 37 years. You're doing some things right.
She ain't messing around. That's the other thing, too. Because it's a country club, it's not just going up to the pro shop and they got egg, cheese, and sausage biscuit. Nothing wrong with that, but that's all they have. They're talking about the full menu of great food. Had lunch on Tuesday, was delicious, and now we got breakfast. I got a big old omelet sitting here and bacon and sausage. It's absolutely outstanding.
They have hash browns, which that always wins me over.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing worse than when some place advertises hash browns and then they bring you out little diced potatoes. That drives me insane.
Huge difference. Just in the taste, even though they're potatoes, right? The hash browns and the diced potatoes.
Hash browns are hash. Oh, and I do, and they were because I take my over easy eggs and I mix them in with the hash browns. If you try and do that with the stupid breakfast potato things, it doesn't work at all.
Right.
Not nearly as good. With hash browns, I don't eat a ton of breakfast. This is the breakfast I eat. If you have actual hash browns, give me some over easy eggs to pile on top of there and get all that, the juices running through it, and we good.
It's kind of like a breakfast bowl, all together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday, so you know what it means at this time of the day on Friday for us. It's time for 10 in a row.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row.
It's the game show that has swept the nation. It is 10 in a row. If you want to participate, give us a call on the Sports 56 listener lines at 901-360-8255. 901-360-8255. Listen, we didn't have a winner last week. I hate it when we don't have a winner. Do not delay. Get on the phones because you never know who may be waiting. Joe could be waiting in the wings. I'm not sure if it's Joe's week that he can jump in or not. But if you want to play, that's the phone number to call. What are they playing for?
We've got $25 gift, speaking of breakfast, $25 gift certificate to Sunrise. Mm-hmm. You can use that at either the original location on Jefferson or the Sunrise East location on Poplar. Also, $50 to 117 Prime downtown, the wonderful steakhouse, and a couple of Malco movie passes.
All right, so here's the question. Top 10 and ties. Top 10 and ties, current longest college football bowl streaks. Top 10 and ties, current longest college football bowl streaks. I'll give you the name of a school. If they rank in the top 10, which includes ties, of the longest current bowl streaks, it would be a yes. If not, it would be a no.
360-8255, 360-8255 is the phone number to play 10 in a row. Again, $25 to Sunrise, $50 to 117 Prime, and a couple of Malco movie passes are available for the winner of 10 in a row today.
And again, as you start to Google the answer, as most people do, get in whenever you can. First come, first serve. But in the meantime, remember what I said and what we've been saying throughout the last 2 hours and 33 minutes, that right now you can play this beautiful country club course that has now become semi-private for just $39 today, plus tax, and that includes a cart here at Meadowbrook Country Club. Just give them a call at 870-394-4186. Operators are standing by. Or just stop by. They have tee times available. Get your Labor Day weekend started the right way with 18 holes here at Meadowbrook Country Club.
That's right. I'm looking forward to playing. Again, I've only played this place once, and it was years ago. I really don't remember a whole lot about it, so I'm looking forward to getting out there and playing today. The weather, again, is absolutely – I'm not sure you can order a better day to play golf than what today is. Absolutely spectacular, so looking forward to this. All right, 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255 to play 10 in a row. Steven is first up. What's up, Steven?
Steven?
Hey, guys. How are y'all doing this morning?
Top 10. Doing well, thank you. Top 10 in ties, current longest college football bowl streaks. Kentucky.
Yes.
Mississippi State.
Yes.
Oklahoma State.
Yes.
Michigan.
No.
Penn State.
No.
Baylor.
No.
UCF.
Yes.
Clemson.
Yes.
Minnesota.
No.
Oregon.
No.
Man, you know how to Google well. Good job, Steven. You are a winner, my friend.
Congratulations. You've got some Sunrise, some 117 Prime.
I did do it, man. It was all just thinking about it. I'm in the car.
Really?
So
you did not Google that at all? Great job, man.
Hold on, man.
Wow. Do you believe him? That was good.
If it wasn't looking it up, that's impressive.
That's very impressive. Are we going to do second chance?
Yeah, I'll give Andre and Anthony a little swing here.
Okay.
Andre, what's up?
Hey, Drake.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. See if you can match Steven here. All right, here we go. Wisconsin.
No.
Next.
All right, Anthony, final shot. Glory's last shot. Anthony, what's up?
Anthony?
Let's try it.
All right. Wisconsin.
Yes.
UCLA.
No.
Notre Dame.
No.
Memphis.
Yes.
Oklahoma.
No.
Nope, no second chance winner this week, but we do have a winner after last week coming up empty. Here are some of the streaks right now. Number one is Georgia, 26 years in a row. They've gone to a bowl game. Number two, Oklahoma, 24 in a row. Number three is Wisconsin at 21 in a row. I did not use the fourth team. The fifth team, Clemson, 18 in a row. Sixth, Oklahoma State at 17 in a row. Mississippi State is seventh. They've gone to 13 straight bowl games. I don't know why it surprised me, but it did. Ohio State, eighth, 10 in a row. We think that would be more. Ninth, Memphis, 9 straight bowl games for the Tigers. And then there were 3 tied for 10th. I used 2 of them, Kentucky and UCF. I think the other one, if I'm remembering correctly, Wake Forest, 7 in a row.
I'm guessing whatever fourth or whatever would have to be Alabama.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. I didn't use Alabama because I thought it was an obvious one. But there you go. Great job by Steve.
Folks, have you been by Genesis Diamonds yet? Well, if you were in the market for diamonds, engagement rings, any fine jewelry, it is the place you need to check out. They have been in Nashville for many years, and they have taken over the market there. They did it in Louisville. They did it in Cincinnati, and now they're doing it in Memphis. As every time somebody comes in there, they are blown away by what they see. First of all, just a beautiful, beautiful showroom, like something you'll see in New York or Las Vegas, and then the selection. Just case after case after case of jewelry and diamonds, something for every budget, truly something for every budget, from under $100 to thousands and thousands of dollars. Genesis has it all, and they've got it at the best prices in town. They came here to expose the high jewelry markups that other stores have, and they came to give you relief in the form of better prices and better value. They are a game changer in the jewelry business. It's direct importer prices, taking out the middleman, and also no commission salespeople, so they're not there to pressure you to buy the most expensive thing you can find. Don't buy any jewelry until you see what Genesis has brought to Memphis. Again, they're going to blow you away. If you're in the market for an engagement ring, any fine jewelry, go see them at Genesis Diamonds. They're located in the Poplar Commons Shopping Center. That's Poplar and Perkins Extended. They're right in the middle of the shopping center. That beautiful showroom, the great prices, the great selection, the great people at Genesis Diamonds.
All right, when we come back, final segment for us from here at Meadowbrook Country Club. We'll recap some of the big headlines, including the huge college football news that broke when we started our program at 7 in the morning. That's all coming up as we continue here on Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
With Labor Day and football season right around the corner, now's the perfect time to head on down to Memphis Barbecue Supply for all your cookout needs. Whether you need fuel, equipment, or seasoning, we have it all and more in store. We boast the largest selection of fuel and wood in the Mid-South. You'll be covered on all your kindling needs, from pellets to logs to chunk and chip. And of course, briquette and lump charcoals. We have many different varieties available to choose from. Speaking of variety, we encourage you to browse our selection of over 300 different rubs and sauces. Our knowledgeable staff is always available to assist with any questions you may have for your next cook. So stop on by and let's get you set up right for this barbecue season at Memphis Barbecue Supply. Memphis Barbecue Supply is located at 7041 Stage Road in Memphis, or you can order online at mbbq.com. Follow us on all the social media platforms for recipes, new products, and barbecue news.
If you've tried to buy a Rolex watch lately, you know how difficult it is. New models are in rare supply. Some jewelers put you on wait lists. Others make you buy their other jewelry at inflated prices just to be considered for a Rolex purchase. Well, that's all changed now that Genesis Diamonds has arrived. Genesis Diamonds is the premier dealer of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. People who come in are shocked to see Daytonas, Hulks, Submariners, Pepsis, Datejusts, all the hard-to-find Rolex watches ready to wear today. At Genesis, we've used our worldwide connections to find only the first luxury pre-owned Rolexes, immaculate, pristine watches, fairly priced with no strings attached, and with flexible financing options. So enough with the wait list and the retail jeweler games. Get the Rolex of your dreams today at Genesis Diamonds. And if you already have a Rolex and are interested in trading up, we also have Rolex buyers on site every day. Just another example of how we're forever changing the jewelry landscape here. Genesis Diamonds, official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with two of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on Sports 56. Real sports talk.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Get them to sign on the line which is dotted.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Gonna put the world away for a minute, pretend I don't live in it. Sunshine.
Welcome back, everybody. 9:45 the time. Final segment for us here on Sports 56 Mornings. Coming up next, live from Meadowbrook Country Club, Dave Woloshin with Wolo and Friends. This is Memphis continues to try to add different things for folks' experience at their home football games. We talked about Stephen Gostowski will be there tomorrow to lead the team out onto the field. In a year-long celebration of Trailblazers at the University of Memphis, this was just announced, the athletics department will honor a selection of the first African-American student-athletes to compete for the Tigers in each sport at halftime of the opener on Saturday against Bethune-Cookman. It's the 9:01 game. There's a lot of really cool stuff that coincides with the game itself. Look, we've talked about it all week long. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you have to do with your money. That's your call. A lot of people like to just sit at home and watch multiple games. I get it. I understand that. But for those, especially with a vested interest, if you are a Tigers fan, an alum, family that are Tigers fans, you're not going to be out of town for Labor Day, for the Labor Day weekend. Think about it. Seriously, to go to the game, to support the Tigers. It doesn't matter who the opponent is.
Speaking of which, if you want to go to the game and you don't have tickets, I have tickets for you. How about a 4-pack of tickets for the game tomorrow night between the Tigers and Bethune-Cookman, the season opener for the Tigers? 4 tickets I'll give to caller number 4. 4 tickets for caller number 4, 360-8255, 360-8255. I'll send you the tickets. You don't have to worry about coming by the station to pick them up. They'll be sent to you either email or phone, either way, whatever way you want to get them. 4 tickets for caller number 4, 360-8255, 360-8255. All you got to do is be caller number 4 to get those 4 tickets. Speaking of tickets for the Tigers game, by the way, again, we got 4 tickets for the Navy game in a couple of weeks. If you come on by here to Meadowbrook, you can drop your name in the box. We're giving away golf for 4 at Meadowbrook. We've got 4 tickets for the Memphis Navy game as well coming up in a couple of weeks. So come on by here and see us at Meadowbrook, or see Dave Oloshin or John Harden. You got up until 1 o'clock to come by. Again, of course, you can play golf for just $39 today, but also when you're here, you can register to win either the golf for 4 or the Tigers Navy tickets. But we've got our winner for the Bethune-Cookman tickets, 4 tickets going to them. We did have a text message talking, of course, about conference realignment and everything going on. And I know there's a lot of people that feel this way. I was actually listening. Happened to be on the driving range the other day and heard a couple of guys talking a lot about this. Somebody says, old school guy here. I despise all the changes to conferences, especially the SEC. It will never be the same again. Sad. Some say progress. I say politics and money. And yeah, I was listening to some guys the other day. We're talking about like the start of the season. It's not even like it's taken away from college football for them. All of the stuff that is going on with conference realignment, because it is that the sport is changing so much and rivalries are going away, all of these things. And I can certainly understand. And I do think once the games actually kick off and you start watching football again, it is nice to kind of forget about that and you'll get back into it. But I certainly can understand some people who just are kind of tired of it and don't like the way it is headed.
Well, number one, we've been sick that we've had to talk about realignment seemingly every day, and there's still some more to get ironed out. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, I understand where the person is coming from, right? They don't like what has changed. Some of those traditional rivalries, a lot of them are out the window. But wouldn't you think that the purest of college football fans are more affected by what's happened with the transfer portal, with name, image, and likeness and things of that nature, rather than just realignment? Because down the road, you will adjust to what teams are playing where and in what conferences they are. I've had to adjust that Maryland plays in the Big Ten. I don't love it, but I know that they're going to be playing Penn State and Michigan State. You'll get used to that. But I don't know about as far as everything that else has happened in college football that has affected, and college sports in general, name, image, likeness, but really the transfer portal, where you know that rosters are completely overhauled annually. That, I think, would upset people more than just the realignment news.
I don't know. I've heard more people talk about realignment. Again, I think it's because I don't think they care how the player ends up at the school. I think they like to see the schools that traditionally play each other.
No, there's no doubt about it, but they would also hate that their players who just had success are gone the next year, that it changes, and that's the way it is. It's not coming back. That genie is not going back into that bottle. That's the way it is. You were mentioning it earlier. We were talking about some of the games from yesterday, including the Utah-Florida game. We talked about Graham Mertz in the second half. He ended up putting up numbers. They still scored 11 points. This is interesting. This is tweeted out from Connor O'Gara, our buddy. At Wisconsin, when he passed on 3rd and 7 or longer, he attempted his attempt ratio was 6.8 yards per attempt. In other words, he was throwing the ball short of first downs. Even though he completed 51.8% of his passes, his conversion rate was only 26.7%. So I don't know what he did last night as far as that's concerned, but whether that's play calling or whether that's execution by the quarterback, you got to throw it at the change. You have to throw it right there at the mark, because if you're throwing short, you got to hope that somebody busts a tackle and gets the first down. And obviously at 26.7, that wasn't a great conversion rate.
How about, by the way, last night, right when the game was kicking off at 7 o'clock, the Spectrum TV, which has a lot of the state of Florida, has ESPN channels taken away. So, I mean, people were losing their minds. Like, the fact that they did it right at 7 o'clock, right at the kickoff of the game, they take the game away from a bunch of people in the state of Florida. That's rough. That's a brutal way to go. Like, I mean, you could give me a little something. Give me like an hour before so I can make plans, but don't give it right at kickoff.
No, I'm with you 100%. I saw a lot of people on Twitter complaining about that. Here's what I'm getting nervous about. We are closing in on the start of the NFL season. And Channel 3, they still haven't come to a deal, right? With DirecTV?
Fox,
not Channel 3, but the network.
Fox has Fox and Comcast expires, I think, next Friday. So they better get that thing done.
Oh no!
I have ways around it, but I need my. I want.
That's why they
Fox.
call you the pirate.
I've got ways around it, but I prefer to have my Fox. I don't know. Normally these things get done, but here recently they aren't getting done. Like they're going on and on and on. The one with CBS and DirecTV blows my mind how long this has gone on.
Well, the Tour Championship the last weekend, I'm watching it on the Golf Channel up until 2:00. 2:00 it goes over to CBS. And there was no CBS in the Gaston household because Channel 3 was not up there functional because of the DirecTV deal with CBS. Yeah, so hopefully it gets done next week for football. Hopefully there's no problems with Fox. By the way, this is interesting. Tom Fornelli tweets out, I want to know, can somebody explain to me how 12 Pac-12 schools together weren't valuable, but that 10 of the 12 sold in smaller groups are somehow valuable enough to make it worthwhile for their new conferences. They weren't good enough as
because it isn't that they are. They're just schools, and the ACC's contract with ESPN says you add school, you get this much. It doesn't matter who that school is. So it didn't matter if it's a Pac-12. It's not that Pac-12 school has value. It just the bottom line was for the ACC, any school meant this much money because the way the contract is.
Maybe you know this. I'm staring right at Dave Woloshin. Maybe he knows this. With the contract that Mike Oresco has with the American and ESPN, what is their deal adding teams? If they're looking at Washington State and Oregon State, does that automatically mean that ESPN has to renegotiate like the ACC? I don't know. You don't know. I mean, that's the thing. You're not bringing in two more schools if the schools that you currently have get less of a slice.
And the other thing, too, that somebody pointed out, I guess, I don't know, I think they may have just found out. I don't know if it was Pete Dam or whoever, but with the ACC, and one of the reasons that they, and I don't know, again, we don't know for sure who caved, if all caved or whatever, but because they've got the grant of rights deal through 2036, apparently in that contract, if the conference falls below 15 schools, ESPN can completely renegotiate the contract. So that would take away that grant of rights. So that they, as a conference, all those other schools, they could not afford to take a chance and stay at 15. If Florida State, Clemson leave, now the whole contract goes away and they're screwed.
That's interesting.
So now they've given them that buffer. Go ahead and leave. We've got a 3-team buffer to keep us at 15.
So Billy Napier has explained the mishap last night where there were two number 3s on the field. It was number 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're supposed to be a 3 and a 33. Napier has 2 offensive line coaches. Why? I don't know. That means Florida has an analyst that's handling the special teams. They don't have a special teams coach. They got 2 offensive line coaches. So the analyst, a guy by the name of Chris Couch, it's his responsibility. He's in his second season on the job at Florida, and he did not have the correct players out there to do what they needed to do. That caused Utah to get a first down when it was 4th and 3. They would have punted, and they drove, and they ended up scoring a touchdown. That was a big touchdown in a game that saw only 35 total points.
Again, the penalties killed them. They gave them that. They had the 4th and 1 where they get a false start. They had another 2 3rd and 1s where they got false starts. They were just again. It was poor. They looked poorly prepared for that game,
and that's the knock on Napier.
And again, everybody keeps saying, "Oh, the buyout's this. He's not going to get fired." I just don't believe he's that safe, and I don't think, especially if that type of stuff continues. To be honest, you know what last night looked like. Let's be honest here, because you also had the 2 different illegal formations in key situations. We can all remember. You know what last night Florida looked like? Looked like the Larry Porter Memphis Tigers.
Do not bring that up.
Remember starting the season with 2 straight illegal formations?
Yes, we do.
That's what it looked like. How do you line up illegally twice in key situations? How do you keep having false starts in key situations? How do you have 2 number 3s on the field? It looked like a poorly prepared football team, and that's what it looked like.
Teams are bound to make mistakes the first week of the season, right? But you can't make really stupid mistakes like they did. Everybody's going to make a mistake here or there, but you can tell which teams are prepared and which teams aren't. We are prepared to get the heck on out of here and start our long weekend. We will not have a show on Monday. We'll be back on Tuesday. It's Labor Day weekend. I want to wish everybody well out there. I want to thank everybody for listening to the program, your calls, your texts, your tweets. We appreciate it. Get on out here. Take advantage of the deal at Meadowbrook Country Club. It really is a hidden jewel in West Memphis at 1250 West Broadway. I want to thank Mark Bartlett and his staff for their hospitality. Dave will be out here with Willow and Friends, and then John Harden will be out here today, and today only. You tell them you heard it here on Sports 56, $39 plus tax, and that includes cart to play here on a country club course. It is now semi-private. It is open to you. They'll be open from Tuesday through Sunday every week. So get involved, either coming in as a daily rate course that you pay $59 or become a member at $350 a month. Includes golf, swimming, tennis courts, pickleball, restaurant, and bar. Absolutely out of this world. It's Meadowbrook Country Club. I want to thank John Varlas, Brian Moss, and Brandon Lang for joining us on the program today. Big shout-out to Zach Boyd producing the program back in the Family Leisure Studios. For Eli, I'm Greg. Have a great day, a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.